Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Can't exit, so he spins deeper and leaves it for Jeff. Jeff finds Heischer. Here comes Nico Heischer. Backhand score. The captain. G got there. Home. Yeah, you could tell what he wanted. A little frustration. He got it out of his system.
52, longer run 0 tonight.
Starting in this second half. Going on.
Step back, big time. CJ Cox looks for Cluff at the top. Here's Braden Smith. What a spin down to Trey Kaufman-Red.
Cam Heide sends Vanderbilt to its largest deficit they have faced all season long.
Jiffa to Store. Store with 3 to shoot. Turn around, jumper, no good. Rebound, follow, yes! What a follow! Ole Miss with the win on Pat Pinkin's tip.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mayo Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How are we doing?
Oh, we're doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I am. At some point, you're going to be like, dude, 2, 3, however long we've been, a while.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, can you get your hand out of my plate? Just get all the way out of my pocket. I'll be like, okay, fine. Eat what you want.
Yeah, that's what I got going on over here.
But at no point, I mean, you've done some weird.
These are good.
You've eaten some strange things.
Yeah.
Is that an ice cream cookie?
No, not ice cream.
What's in the middle?
It's frosting. This is
that whole thing is frosting?
Yeah, it's airy though, so it's not like thick. It
Wow.
It compresses pretty good.
Wow.
It's you know why? Because it's whipped.
So that's 2 giant cookies.
Yeah, well, they're not giant. They're I would say golf ball sized cookies.
Oh, so there's multiple. I thought that was just one.
No,
and you broke it up.
there's 3. There's 3.
Did Natasha make those?
Yeah, she did. Yeah. These are actually oatmeal cream pies.
They look like oatmeal cream
Yeah,
pies.
that's what they are. These are their oatmeal cookies, then you got the frosting in the middle.
Are they soft?
Yeah, the cookies are.
Oh, I take it all back.
I was going to say, this is right up your alley.
Yeah, but I don't know about for breakfast.
Well,
But we've established that there are no real rules.
I mean, more or less of a breakfast food than Cheez-Its.
I don't know. I mean,
At least these have oatmeal in them.
to them, like individually,
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
Timing matters and the combo matters.
Oh.
Hey, what'd you have for breakfast? Cheez-Its and homemade oatmeal cream pies.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, listen.
I'm gonna get out of your pocket. I feel like I shouldn't have that strong of an opinion.
It's fine. I mean,
I'm just taken aback. Every day I wonder what weird thing you're going to eat.
I'm going to continue to kill you over your food storage techniques, so I feel like this is fair, like turnabout's fair play,
Hey, this morning.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, this is actually to the good.
Steve says timing matters for food. How ironic.
I think that's a technicality.
I added the how ironic, but he added the ... which I felt like was what he was getting at.
So you know those little small disposable foil tins?
Yeah.
Not the one that looks like you could bake bread or like when heavy set people cram their feet into shoes. Not like that, but like the little flat square ones.
Yeah, like you would put like little burgers in or something.
Yeah. So I made a omelet or a egg casserole, but I use Greek yogurt and
get a little extra protein in there.
A lot extra.
Yeah.
And meat and cheese. And I only ate 2 square, like I pie squared it. No, brownie squared it. You don't pie square. Pies are triangle. So anyway, there's just 4 squares. So I ate 1.5.
Okay.
I wanted to keep the warmth, so I put it in a nice little Tupperware dish. It did not make it in there
in the fridge
this morning. It is still going to be 100% delicious, and I want you to know that. And if I brought you some to eat and you however you bring it to reheat, you'd probably put it in the microwave.
Yes,
But
100% I would.
It's kind of weird. I don't want to cook it. I just want to bring it back to temp. I'm going to wrap it in some foil. I'm going to put it in the oven at 225, and I'm going to slowly bring this thing back.
It's way too much work. Eggs are a bad thing to eat. Like, that's a bad one. Eggs are bad.
I watched you. I literally watched you.
Yeah.
Take 3 hours to eat a McMuffin.
3 hours and overnight are not the same thing.
At what point is it like?
It's literally 4 hours. That's the recommendation. It's 4 hours.
It's fine.
As long as
I put it in the fridge at 4. So let's say I was done in the kitchen at 7. That's close.
Nope.
Yeah, 4 and 7. The time in between is fine.
7 to 4. Oh. It's backwards.
Have you not heard me talk about give me all 6 of them? The math is the math.
Yeah, I think the math ain't mathin'. I think that's part of the problem.
Well, I can get there.
Just all the way around the barn.
Yeah, I can get there.
Just all the way around.
No problem.
Let's see. Let's do a little math here. So
keeps your brain sharp.
To 4. So
yeah, 7 to 8, 8 to 9. 9
5
to 10.
hours gets us to midnight. That's 5. So we're already past it. Plus 4 more is 9. So we're more than double the recommended safety guidelines.
Can I just tell you how I think?
Sure.
All right. So it's been in the fridge much longer than it normally would because I got it in there this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So anything's better than what I would have done. So I'm making progress.
That is progress. I agree.
Let's go.
Well, I can fist pound on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, that is progress. I'm surprised it's in the fridge at all, honestly. So like,
okay.
I'm proud of you. You know,
we are proud of you. I said we are proud
Kedley
of you.
Kedley says if it's longer than 4 hours, you need to see your doctor. That's what all the commercials say.
He's wild.
I like Kedley.
So would he be like a first rounder? Like if you were gonna pick like a stream up and go meet to have a drink with somebody you've never met?
Ooh, yeah, Headley'd be up there, I think. I like Headley.
So you think it would be career suicide if I picked Juan?
No, I don't think it'd be career suicide. I think you would have no idea what you'd be getting into.
I don't think Juan would be my first pick.
Juan?
Yeah, that was weird.
Juan or Jose Bueno?
No, Joe Good is far away.
Is he?
Yeah, I think Joe Good is in California.
Is he?
Man, I think.
Okay. I know we got some left coasters out there, including Left Coast Huskers. Shout out.
I mean, Shane, who do you think I should go hang out with if I was just going to pick
I would
one?
pick Wyatt.
No, we
know Wyatt.
I know Wyatt, though.
These are people we've never met. No, but he's been here. That doesn't count.
Wyatt is hilarious.
Anybody that's been here and we've actually met does not count.
Yeah. Because we've seen that people aren't like we think.
Yeah.
SkyMex was completely different.
He's exactly what I expected.
Not me. I'm thinking, he was kind of a little guy. He's super smart. I knew he was smart.
Yeah.
Ultra kind, that's not when I think like evacs and helicopter. I don't know. I got a.
You think like military tough guy more?
I got like a different view.
He was exactly what I expected. You know who threw me for a loop?
Steve?
Yes. Well, actually threw me through for a big loop. Which have you been in here lately, Steve Young? Come on, man. Where you at? The guy that really threw me for a loop was Mark Connor.
Oh yeah,
I thought
stuck around for the video.
Yeah,
he was cool.
He was super cool. I thought he was
I agree.
I thought
did
he was
not look anything
60.
like. Did not look like anything. I agree.
And he's like this young dude.
Yeah,
super cool.
With a full head of hair.
Yeah, super cool. Like lovely dude. But
he said lovely.
Lovely day, lovely day. Is that Bill Withers? Lovely day.
I just know it.
Shane?
I think I just know it from Despicable Me or one of those kids' cartoons.
It could be Bill.
Pet's Life, Secret Life of Pets.
Oh, there's Stephen Young.
Yeah, he's been in here.
Okay, I was making sure. You gotta check on
Yeah,
the
he
boys.
doesn't count. I'm just talking about like
people we have never seen before, never met.
Yeah,
Headley would be up there.
I might. It's close.
Headley would be up there.
It's close.
I
might.
You might go Juan.
He's in the discussion.
Yeah.
It'd be like, top 4 quarterbacks coming out. Hey, Kobe's in the discussion.
I'm just fascinated. Like I just got to know what Kobe's like in real life. I'm fascinated.
I was telling our guys from the radio network about him, and with the whole Rod Wave thing, because I was smoking those country ribs.
Yeah.
I had my phone out there and I was playing music, and I was like, "Dang, man, what would Kobe say because it's like 3 Rod Wave songs in a row. So I fast forwarded. I was like, damn, he's in my head.
You're like, Kobe wouldn't let me. Kobe wouldn't let me. Ooh, Dan Coyote would be pretty high on my list.
Yeah, he's up there.
Dank would be high on my draft board.
Up there.
Yeah.
No question. I don't blow trees, so.
Oh, you know who'd be high is Jack.
Dank.
Jack. Tennessee Jack would be high on the list.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think, why do I feel like I know Jack?
I haven't met Jack. I'm almost positive. You may have in a past life.
I feel like I know Jack.
Yeah.
Jack's cool. Jack might be who I go break bread with.
Yeah?
Yeah, because, he strikes me as the type of guy that would, he would cook and use, those skillets and, those crocks and, use a little hook thing to take the lids off his food. You know what I mean? That would be my thing.
Yeah, I'd hang out with Jack.
Yeah. I get tired.
I'm tired.
My man said the house of ill repute.
I would just listen to him. I could just.
I don't believe that. It was funny, but I don't believe it.
Hilarious. I'm all on board for Team Jack.
Yeah, I don't.
In every way possible, Team Jack, but also our guy Jack.
I feel like I may get in trouble with Juan.
Oh, for sure.
I don't really want to get in trouble.
I feel like there is some things that could go sideways with Juan.
Because I think he teeters on crazy.
Yeah, he might bring you some Lalo, and it could all be over.
I'm a veteran. It would take a lot. Bro, you have an idea?
I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking.
But it'd take a lot. Juan would be like, damn, DB. I'm chill. I'm like, next bottle.
I feel like some people have a natural inclination to it that you may not be able to keep up with. I'm just, possibly. Possible.
Okay.
Juan?
Okay. Stop saying it like that. It's regular.
Saying what like that?
By the way, Shane, you should have seen this idiot at Next Gen yesterday.
What'd I do?
I mean, just in all his glory. Austin said he'd pick Captain. I already know Captain, and I know Game Dog.
You go Captain Nortak and Game Dog Nightmare Blunt rotation. Austin, what were you doing in that trailer in Kearney, man?
Living his best life.
I really want to.
Which, by the way, speaking of Kearney, Shane, on February 5th, which is the signing day, I'm just telling you this now. I want to talk to Ryan Held. I want to talk to their football coach. Can you make that happen? I will send you his number. His recruiting,
he's done incredible out there.
Is
done a really good job.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I keep seeing it on social media, and I keep reminding myself, I'm going to talk to that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mark that down on signing day. Get Coach Ryan Held from Kearney. He's going to be confused with Kearney.
He's going to tell you to tell him in like 3 weeks. That's what Shane's going to tell you.
He's going to tell him in 3 weeks?
No, he's going to.
No, I saw him. He's like,
did he write it down?
He's making it.
Okay.
Are you using a pen, or are you doing that Vienna sausage finger type thing?
I don't have a pen. You don't have pens for the iPhone.
I mean, no, but you do have for paper, Shane. I didn't know if that was.
I write all the time.
There ain't none of that around here.
Oh, okay.
What's wrong with that dude?
DJ says, go Lopers.
Oh, DJ? Yeah.
He's out there.
I check him out on Twitter, too.
Yeah, I like DJ.
Yeah. Did I tell you I took I taken notes?
What kind of notes we taking?
On, just work on dealing with people. Empathy, sympathy, and apathy. I have notes, you guys.
What else we got on there? Can I see?
Yeah.
What do we got? All right.
Yeah. It's short. I don't know if it's going to make much sense to you. Well, kind of.
100% engaged. That's good.
So which one? Oh, that's empathy.
Yeah.
Your top left.
Personal emotional response.
Yep.
100% compassionate.
Yeah.
Fact-based. Objective.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got? Sympathy.
Yeah.
Personal emotional response. Positive or to the negative.
Could be either.
Agree with. What does that one say? I don't know what that one says. Same as.
Okay.
Congruent. Is that what it says?
Yes.
Congruent. Okay. Negative, differs, incongruent, blame, fault, disagreement. And then apathy is no personal emotional response. I would agree. Indifference, no involvement, no interest.
Still can do the right thing, though.
Sure. You're just not emotionally attached to it.
Yeah.
I feel like
Do you like my notes?
I feel like I land in apathy a lot with certain people.
Yeah, I don't know what I said. Fixing versus venting. Listening versus lamenting.
Listening versus lamenting. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Fixing versus venting is a big one too.
Yeah. So anyway.
Oh, there's your number one draft pick. Kobe just chimed in.
Oh, let's not anoint him numero uno.
He's your number one draft pick.
It may be a little Ryan Leaf Manning thing. I don't know.
Not sure yet. But
Yeah.
one of them's definitely a bust.
So the problem is the thing about I'm definitely curious, but the thing that gives me pause is the minute I do something stupid, which inevitably is bound to. I mean, did you not see me at Next Gen yesterday?
I did, yeah.
You have to be able to deal with that and just move on.
Yep.
I feel like Kobe may remind me between every bite.
Oh yeah, probably. He's gonna stay.
So I don't know if I want that.
Yeah, he might. He's gonna stay on it.
But I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
I was telling Jess about the Rod Wave thing, and she's like, "No way."
Oh yeah, he crushed you for that.
And I was like, "Do you have a visual?" They're like, "No, but he's all things Huskers."
Yes.
I was like, "Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah." Like almost like anything to the contrary, you gotta go. You absolutely gotta go.
Brad says he hopes that Ekeler stays.
Oh, do you like my heads?
I do, yeah. Would you like to share why those two in particular?
I don't know. Why are they up here?
Big Mike Ekeler guy, big Lincoln Riley guy.
I am a big Mike Ekeler guy. I don't mind Lincoln Riley. He's fine.
I think you are. I don't want to say higher on, but I think you're more.
I defend him more than not.
Objectively positive about Lincoln Riley than a lot are.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he wins a lot.
He does win a lot. I think you're also enamored is probably not the right word. Impressed with his counter game.
Liquid thoughts. Why does Kobe have a picture of DB as fullback weight? And what are liquid thoughts? Do they dissipate? Is it like acid?
I think
what are liquid thoughts?
I always assumed that was an alcohol reference, like things you only think when you're drunk.
That's kind of deep.
Oh, that's what I thought it was. Maybe I'm doing too much. I don't know. Liquid thoughts. What does your screen name mean?
I mean, is anybody their real name? I assume Kobe's Kobe. I know Drunk Monk isn't really Drunk Monk on his government.
You don't think Dank Coyote is a government name?
No, I'm pretty. Although people may call him Dank.
What up, Dank?
Yeah. Like I could see it.
I think Steven. I mean, that's Steven's real name. I would imagine.
Yeah, it is.
I think our Facebook people, that's their real names because it kind of has to be. Our people that chime in.
Are you riding with Jose Bueno?
He said that's his real name.
Joe Good. Jose, all to the good. Altuve. Santiago.
Liquid thoughts is Aquarius with constant flowing thoughts. Oh,
he's an Aquarius.
Flowing. So that makes sense. Liquid, they're movable.
Big February guy, huh?
Scott says that's his real name.
Oh, no bleep.
Wow. Aggressive here.
I know the guy.
It says Enrique Alvarez Clary. That's his real name.
So I wanted to change his name yesterday on the fly, but I didn't know what to go with.
What do you mean?
Change the whole loop thing?
Oh, yeah.
But I was like, he already has a couple of nicknames. I should just let him settle
into. You got Suave and Puerto?
Yeah, I should just let him settle into one.
I think I'm going to stick with Puerto. That's my favorite one.
All right.
He's half Puerto Rican.
Jack said Jack. That's, again, the most Jack response ever. Hey, Jack, do you cook with cast iron skillets? You strike me as the type of guy that cooks with cast iron skillets. I bet he does.
Kobe says, I used to listen to Early Break primarily, so my pick was Fat Filter Sipple. He says, now I only listen to Hurrdat Live, so now it's DB.
Let's go, Kobe. See, he's up there. I have to think about it because there's like a handful of guys.
Yeah.
So I have to think of like one of those super competitive quarterback drafts where it's like 4 are going to go in the first 9 picks.
So kind of like, what was it, 2024?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kinda
Caleb
how this is.
Williams,
I mean, because would I
Daniels,
really
Drake May?
I would take a drive out to the Panhandle too.
Is he your JJ McCarthy? Is Kobe your JJ McCarthy?
No, because I think most people like Kobe. Nobody likes JJ McCarthy except me.
Is he your Michael Penix? We were kind of the only ones on Michael Penix.
I still like Penix.
I do too.
No.
Okay.
No. Give me another one.
Is he your Bo Nix? Not a lot of people were in on Bo Nix.
No, because I think more people like him than that.
Like Kobe or like Bo Nix?
Like
Which way am I off on?
Kobe.
Okay. I need quarterbacks that more people liked.
Yeah. But we're still kind of a risky deal.
Drake May had the low starts. People weren't totally sure.
Yeah, that's a good one. Kobe can be Drake May.
I hope he's as successful as Drake May.
And why not a musical reference with a guy that hates Rod Wave? A Drake reference.
Jack says yes, he does cook with cast iron skillets.
Yeah. Jack strikes me as a cast iron skillet guy.
I gotta look up Drake May's college stats real quick.
Jack, who makes the grits in your house? No, it can't be Sam Darnold, Jibs, because I'm a big Sam. Oh, you know what? It could be Sam Darnold. That's actually pretty good. Because he says some things that drive you up. Because he used to drive you crazy. I don't know why you like that guy. I don't really know him. I just like the vibe in the street.
Yeah, I mean, you'll make decisions on people like that, though.
Yeah, Kel Jim.
You're just like, that's my guy. It's like, all right, I guess.
Shane's my guy. Shane,
I like Kel Jim.
Shane, could you have hung out with us at Next Gen yesterday for 2 hours? Knowing good and well, Sasha told me 15 minutes.
Ooh, 2
I looked
hours?
at that script and I said, oh, boy, she got me.
Did she tell you 15 minutes?
She said, oh, it shouldn't take that long, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't think that was ever going to be accurate.
Man.
She was selling you a bill of goods.
Guess what, though?
What?
0 accidents for the dog.
Oh, shout out Bella.
I was so stressed on the way home because, I'm OCD. I'm like, she has yet to have an accident in the kennel. All right. I said something funny.
It's Wyatt.
See? What did he do? I need my readers?
He said, despite what you may think, I don't cook with a wok.
I told you this was early. This is
early.
And he intimated in the most kind Wyatt way possible. He goes, I'm sensing a theme here. Is this the type of food you think I eat a lot of? I was like, ooh.
You were like texting him about certain ingredients.
And it would be like weird stuff like Asian pears or fish oil or hoisin versus
stuff that you only find at the Asian market.
Yeah. I was like, that would be like me asking you about like when naan and butter chicken.
Did ask me about that particular spice. Yes. You're like, hey, does your dad have any of this? And I was like, I'll ask him.
Red chili cumin.
Cumin?
No, it's not spelled like that.
I know. I think that's how they say it, though.
No, it's like Kurmin, something like that.
I think it's like,
and it's a huge pack. Like I've used it 6 times, and it's like I barely dented it.
Yeah,
I did.
And you were like,
that was like the right thing to ask.
So I'll give you a pass because that's not the only thing you text me about.
Yeah,
like you text me about lots of stuff, so that's fair. And to be fair, you knew I wouldn't have it.
Yeah.
So you're like, hey, does your dad have it?
Full
which is a fair.
I wanted to know if there was an easier to find substitute.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, is this necessary?
Yeah. My dad's not good with texting. So
Clearly,
I got it.
It
took all day.
A day.
Yeah, it took a full day. He's not good with texting.
I was like, well, yeah. So anyway,
he probably did have it. Though.
Wyatt did. He was on a run too. He knew where all the Asian markets were that were still open because it was like they would be here today and then going. I mean, we're talking.
That one's been there forever though.
We're talking pre-COVID.
Yeah,
and he's probably given me 3
different Asian markets.
Yep.
I go to the same one because it's always there and just keeps getting bigger.
So I have a hookup.
Yeah.
So I've made nice with the people at my local grocery store.
Okay. So they like order stuff for you?
They sell me dark soy because sometimes it is very hard to find.
What's dark soy? I'm not familiar.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Dark soy is exactly what it is.
Just dark soy.
Dark soy. Different than regular soy sauce.
Sasha says, I did not say 15 to 20. I said it won't take that long. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
I'm sorry it took that long.
I said, so what? 15, 20 minutes? And she goes, yeah, it shouldn't take that long. I mean,
So
very
you
Sasha-esque casual.
So you said 15, 20
Well,
minutes.
if I would have said an hour, she wouldn't have been.
She'd have been like, yeah, it won't take that long.
When I saw the script,
Yeah.
I was like, really? We're doing all of this?
I was there for about an hour after you.
Well, you take too long.
No. I took fewer takes than you did.
Not a chance.
That's 100% true.
Not a chance.
Ask Sam. I know on the
If
walking
it's-
out of the room, I took less time than you did.
So, do you know what he said to me?
What?
He goes, we're backstory, guys. We're doing some stuff for Next Gen. And so I'm with Nick.
Yeah.
Who's a grown man.
Yeah.
Okay. So the hallway's very narrow.
Oh, yeah. No, he's pretty jacked up.
Nick
yeah.
is yoked.
Yeah, he's jacked up.
Right? So we walked down and we were talking, and we were having a legit conversation because it was funny. Like, we're not acting. Like, this is just.
Yeah. Because there's no audio, so we're just talking.
Yeah, and I'm in there so much. Like, there's plenty to go on. And Sam goes, hey, let's do that one more time. I know this is going to be hard, but I need you to kind of just look into his eyes the whole time walking. And I was like, no. No.
That's so awkward.
It was his delivery. It threw me for a total loop. And that's when I mumbled the joke under my breath. And you chimed in, and I was like, absolutely.
Yeah. It's just the way you said gazing. Like gazing in
You guys made fun of me. I was like, what do you want? Some lovingly gazed look?
Yeah.
And you go, what?
Well, to also be clear, I didn't have context of what
We're
Sam.
4 inches apart.
Yeah, it's a small hallway.
Like, what do you want me to do? Green eggs and ham?
I mean, it's appropriate sized hallway if you're not going shoulder to shoulder with like another grown man.
Yeah. And he's so kind.
Sam?
Yes.
Yeah. Super good natured.
And so the second time I was like, Sam, why do we have to do another take when you're just like, it's my back?
Yeah.
Angles, the lighting, it's a lot. Let's just do it a couple more times. If I don't like them, we can toss them. I was like, oh, God. Is that what?
Sam is definitely.
I wish I would have been there.
Dude, he's so nice. You cannot say no.
Oh, I know Sam, yeah.
He's just a good dude.
He's a good dude, but he's definitely a have it in case we need it guy.
So we're not using all that?
No. I'm certain we're not going to use all that.
Oh, Lord.
We were there for like 2 hours. I think it's 4 like 15 or 30-second spots. We're not using all that.
I don't think you should have just told me that.
My bad. It's called coverage. You want to make sure you have everything.
What are you doing with all the miscellaneous?
It's going to end up on. Let me explain it to you in terms you might appreciate, DB. So, like, hold on. So, you and the coaches at Westside, you meet a fair amount, right?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff that you talk about you don't use, right?
No.
I don't believe that. Like, for any particular game plan, you're going to talk through things that you don't end up using.
Okay. I'll rock with that early.
Yes. Like,
Okay.
you are talking through. You've told me before. You're like, hey, do we want to do this? Do we want to do that?
I'll rock with that.
And you spend a lot of time talking about it.
I can't believe that, though.
That's the same. It's the same thing.
Listen to what you just said, though. 2 hours for 60 seconds?
It might be 2 minutes. I'm not sure.
Pick another number, and it's still going to be absurd if it isn't at least an hour's worth of footage for 2 hours worth of content.
It is definitely not an hour's worth of footage. Yeah. That is not how shooting things works.
I'm not. Okay.
That's not how it works, man. I don't know what to tell you.
All right. Ask me again next time.
Hey.
How about no?
Well, I mean, I think you got an appearance fee, or you're going to, so you're fine.
I don't even know. Nobody tells me anything.
It was written in the contract. You got an appearance fee.
No, I can't read.
You can read. You just can't see. I'm defending you.
This is not a good 3 minutes for you. Thank you, Jose. Somebody has my back. Did Jack ever answer the question? I suppose we should start the show here, but this is the show, right?
I get he's not on my side. That's fine.
Who?
He says DB isn't happy, Ravi. I'm aware.
Yeah, like
You don't think
you just said 2 hours for 60 seconds.
That's how it works, man.
Who says who?
Says anybody who shot a commercial or anything ever. That's how it works.
Did you know how many commercials I've done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know how much stuff they shot when you weren't there?
No.
Probably 2 hours worth for your 30 seconds.
That's nuts.
That's how it works.
No, that's how you work.
Listen, you got your appearance fee. You'll get your appearance fee. You're cool.
All right.
Don't worry about it.
At least Sam. Well, they both were kind. I'd never met what's his buckets.
Joel?
Yeah.
Joel's great.
He's kind of low-key funny.
Yeah, really good-natured.
You know, he didn't say much.
Good dude. He's a good dude.
But he had some one-liners.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, camera wasn't rolling yet. Slow down.
Hey, slow down. Not rolling yet.
I opened the door. I was like, hey. He's like, not ready yet. All I could think of in my head was he wasn't ready. This old school deal.
So this guy knows. It's Sean, right? He says, in my previous career, I would spend almost an entire day shooting video for things that were...
Oh, is that my dude?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Channel 3, Sean.
Yeah, that were only... Can you bring it up? But they're only half a minute to 50 seconds long. Like, yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, I should know.
I think in previous stops, people were very...
Man, I'm glad he's here. Again...
He would know. I mean, he knows.
Good piece of cheese guy. Super snarky. I rock with him
I've run into
for
him
years.
I've run into him on Twitter quite a bit. He can be
way snarky.
He can be snarky, but he's never bothered me.
No, he's a good dude. Like
he's never bothered me.
Man. I love that dude. Welcome. Yeah. Welcome.
Steve says I'll do it in one take.
So that's what I kept. That's my bit.
Bruins. Steve says I'll do it in one take.
No, that's my bit.
I know.
Hey, guys, don't nut up. We're getting this right in one take.
One take DB.
That's yes. Yes.
I make that joke too. I do. When we're doing a video or something, I go
ask Putney, ask anybody. Hey,
yeah.
We're gonna shoot the open. All right, let's nail it.
Do
you want the notes? No, just tell me the time.
That's very different than like doing a commercial, though.
Oh, clearly.
That's
why I have a face for potting.
For what?
What we do.
Oh, podcasting.
Yes.
Podding.
I
thought you said face for
confusing D's and T's now?
No, I thought you said potty. And I'm like, I don't know what.
Are you confusing D's and T's?
Are you confusing D's and T's?
If I told you to eat a tick, would you know what I meant?
I don't like bugs.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. The 2 hour, 60-second thing is throwing me.
Dude, I was there for like an hour past.
That probably sounded like it escalated kind of quick.
I don't care.
Sorry about that.
I think people...
Shane, you can cut that out if you want.
No, he can't. This is live, DB.
Just having a moment.
It's fine. I think people sometimes wonder, like, when... Rico Damon.
So you know what's funny?
Not near.
He's so stinking young, but I could hear him saying that.
Yeah.
He's basically a child for me, and he's reprimanding me by calling me by my real name.
He could,
man.
He could be your child.
But he has that tenor to him.
He does sound like he does have like very dad energy.
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
Where he'll like slap your head.
Yep,
like,
I
Damon.
that.
That wasn't even your worst one. I mean,
no.
Remember that one time I got gum in my ears? Like, that was terrible.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Especially because
I did say gum.
Especially because of how hairy I am. You get gum in there, it's terrible.
Dude, you were being purposely
I wasn't.
defiant.
I wasn't being purposely.
Yeah, what'd you say? Huh? What? I was like,
oh, no, I think that was the original Gen Jin thing.
Oh, yeah, I was livid.
Yeah, you were pretty mad about that.
And it's still, that thing is still growing legs.
It is. I just think it's like people are like, "Oh man, DB got mad at you." I was like, "Yeah, it happens. It's fine."
Couldn't care less.
It's not that I don't care. It's we talk for 15 hours a week. Like it's gonna on air. Not to mention whatever else we talk.
Yeah, and by the way, I was not mean to Jacob yesterday.
You were a little snarky to Jacob. He was trying to be helpful.
Dude, I defend Jacob.
I know he was trying to be helpful. I felt like you maybe were in a little bit of a mood last night.
What time was that? Oh, yeah.
You were a little cranky last night.
Oh, definitely.
I could tell.
Yeah, this is dicey.
Yeah. I could tell.
And Carolina took an L.
Because you usually give Jacob much more patience than that.
Yeah, I'd give him. I was on one.
Because he means the best.
Yeah. Although
he does.
Khalil versus Malik. Do you know what I was gonna say?
What's that?
Nah, I could probably only say that to T-Mac. Anyway, basically the gist of what I wanted to say was, what's the difference?
See, that's something I would have said. Like if I'm like Jerome or Tyrone or.
Didn't even need to give examples.
Well,
see,
that's one that happened the other day.
Well, you did think Teasley was.
He got mad at me. No, I didn't get a good look at it. Sometimes on the screen it doesn't translate because I can't see around. Like I can't see.
Teasley was Coach Brown.
That's not the worst mistake I've made.
Do you know who these guys? You do know who these guys are.
Yeah, we got Coach Eck.
Is it because they have distinguishable traits?
Well, that's a Mike Ekeler face if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, that is Coach Eck.
And then, Lincoln Riley helped me out with the USC visor.
It's a good indicator.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I put them together.
No, it's good. Why would you do that?
That's the rumor.
It is the rumor. Rumor has it.
Look at all these rumors. Can't take it no more.
Big Adele guy?
No, so it's got to be, real talk. To even entertain this, you have to want to be a positional coach too, don't you?
I would think so. I would think there is. And Coach Rhule brought that up in his answer. Shane,
could you believe people were mad that he was talking yesterday?
What else is he going to do?
This is
a dead period. What does he have to do?
This is interesting.
This drives me crazy.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
This isn't even let's just say this is clearly people have drawn lines in the sand. There's some people who don't want to hear anything. Mm-hmm. Mad about everything. Like everything is going to have a negative. Like they are like, yep, done. There's some people who are like, oh man, I rock with them. And based on those two hardline stances is how we perceive everything that happens. And sometimes it's just information. It's not even opinion worthy.
No. And also, it's a thing we wanted to know about.
Why wouldn't he update us on Ekeler?
We wanted to know. You know how many people in the chat the last 2 days are like, Ekeler to USC, Ekeler rumors, Ekeler.
Yeah.
None of them can spell it right, but that's fine.
No, they just say, EK is the funniest one.
Yeah.
EK question mark.
Yeah. Just Ek question mark. That's been half our chat for the last 2 days. And then the head coach who actually knows.
Yeah.
Gives us information on
kinda.
Who has at least
he has the most insight.
At least as much information as we do.
He has the most insight.
Yes. He has as much information as anyone not named Mike Ekeler or Lincoln Riley, I would say.
Yeah.
And so he gives.
I must have cooked with this around because it smells like food.
I like the gold, the copper ring at the top. I like the white one.
Do you know why I picked this one?
Why that?
Because he gave you the black one, and I was like, and he gave me both. I'm like, I'm not gonna have the same mug as Ravi on set, so
that's fine.
The black one's at home.
I didn't know I got a choice. He's handed me one, which is cool. They're nice, but
so I was getting the vibe yesterday.
Yeah.
I think I spent way too much time out there.
I'm in and out. You spend way more time out there than I do. I go in, I pick up my stuff, I'm out.
So it just seems like something always comes up when I'm out there. So we just talk, and it's friendly.
Yeah, no, I like them. I like spending time out there.
Except for Danielle.
Yeah, she's like, hey, get out of here. Get moving.
Basically.
Hey, you got your stuff. It's time to go.
Yesterday, there were 2 bags along the wall.
Yeah.
And she said, hey, one of those bags is DB's. And Nick goes, who's technically the boss? He goes,
not technically. He owns the place.
He goes, there's 2 bags. They're leaning against the wall. Like, which one? And she goes, one's touching the wall, one isn't. I go, not just me. Not Shane, play the answer that Ravi wants to hear that has everybody's undies all scrunchied up.
I just want to get the answer. Apparently we have an answer. Let's get the answer.
Shane, what's the answer?
It's kind of funny. Since going out to Lincoln and obviously knowing you, my Twitter algorithm is now all Nebraska fans. And they're a passionate group. I saw it a few years ago when I came out there for the first time. And they want what's best for Nebraska football. But then there's also some fears. And today I wake up and everything's like the speculation about Mike Ekeler potentially leaving. Like, what can you say about that? Is he going to be back next year with you guys? Do you expect him back?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, that's you know how this time of year is. These things happen. What I can tell you is right in the middle of the season, we offered Mike a huge extent. He's done a great job, a huge extension to make him either first or second highest paid special teams coordinator. But at the end of the day, people pursue people. I know Mike's a Nebraskan. He wanted to come back and be a part of this. But people have other things. Mike's also been a defensive coordinator. He's also been a part of things. And obviously we hired Rob to do the defense. Mike's done a great job on special teams. But if people want to take other jobs, all I can do is put them under contract and offer them extensions and hope that they stay. So I don't know what's happening. I'm kind of learning about a lot of things on social media. And me, I'm never going to BS anybody. With that being said, he taught us a great system of special teams. He taught us a great teaching progression. And I've got some guys here, Josh Martin, Nick Humphrey, who, were his right-hand guys. I have a guy, Brett Maher, who kicked in the NFL, who's brilliant. So I hope Mike's back. I love working with him. If a team pursues him and he decides to leave, I do have the guys and the system in place, though, to just do it from within and just continue what we did last year. So Mike's a great coach. I hope he's a Husker. I brought him here to be here a long time. But you know what? There's just like there's a transfer portal for players. Coaches also have that same right. We build buyouts and all this stuff into our contracts. But if a guy wants to leave, and he can leave. And so, the thing I always say to everybody, though, is, I got here and Trev Alberts was a Nebraska guy and he left to do what's best for him. And I love Trev. Mike's a Nebraska guy. He came here. He wanted to be here. If he leaves, he has to do what's best for him. Dylan, Nebraska family. If he wants to leave, they have to do what's best for him. I'm just an old Penn State guy that, when I've had chances to leave, I want to be here. And so I think that's an important statement. Like, I didn't create the problem at Nebraska. My coaching staff, our players, they didn't create the problem at Nebraska where they were bad for a long time. But we've gotten us to respectability. Now we've got to get us to dominance. And so I'm only going to worry about the guys, who are here and want to be in the foxhole with them. And we're going to find a way to get this done.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot in there.
I missed
the end of it.
Yeah.
This
is weird, like non-terrestrial. I missed that, so I'm digesting this real time. Yeah.
Joshua says he doesn't like that response from Rhule.
Okay. Are we gonna do this now? We're gonna take.
We got 15 more minutes. Let's talk about it.
That's throwing me. Let me go. I need my reader.
Do you want a break to think about it?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, let's work through this.
Yeah.
Okay. So who said what now? I got my glasses on.
Josh says I don't like that response from Rhule.
All right. Now hang on. Can we? Oh, my guy. Look.
Oh, there he is. Joel says he's doing himself no favors.
Oh, this is where you guys got to call. It's fine. I want to process quickly so I don't have to buy time. Josh E., what do you mean you don't like the pieces of it? Okay, what do you mean? So can I just say this?
Yeah.
All right. I'm speculating because this is real time. One of the part that caught me off guard was I'm just a Penn State guy. And I want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
He pit that against
Trev,
Nebraska guys,
Dylan
that left.
Eck.
There's this part of me. You know what I want to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's trying to show us that he wants to be here.
Yeah.
And he's willing to kind of go through it. But other guys that say they want to be here don't stay here.
There are two things.
I want to almost hear that. I'm not going to try to belabor the point.
So there are two things that really stuck out to me. We'll start with that one because I think what he's really saying, because he said that right after this, he says, "I'm not part of the people that made things bad at Nebraska."
Okay, talk to me.
Okay, so think about what we did, just that juxtaposition. Guys that are from Nebraska that left. Guy that's
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't. Again, I'm processing this.
Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I heard guys from Nebraska.
So I don't think like they had a hand in it. I think it's bigger than that.
No. I think he was using Nebraska as an example, and then him as a guy that wants to be here, and then juxtaposes that with guys that were responsible for making this not a good place for a long time. Where was the head coach from previous to Matt Rhule?
He was from here.
I think his point was being from here and wanting to be here are not the same thing.
I can go with that.
And he was using that as this whole example of, I know Nebraskans love it when they have their own, right? We love it. Michigan loves it. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves it when they have their own. Michigan, man, we love it when they hire, I still hear people like, hey, hire Bill Bush. He wants to be here. He still lives in Lincoln, whatever, right? There are people, that's the only reason anybody wanted Mickey Joseph as a head coach. Like, if Mickey Joseph isn't from Nebraska, that's not a thing, right? If Scott Frost isn't from Nebraska, hiring a second-year coach from UCF probably doesn't go over nearly as well. A guy that's only had one winning season. Still has only had one winning season, by the way, but whatever. Like, the love for Ekeler does not get the same thing. I mean, who's the O-line coach at Ole Miss? Starts with a G, I think.
Golding?
No,
he's D coordinator.
The offensive line coach at Ole Miss, a Nebraska guy. It's killing me.
No, it's a good player here.
Oh yeah. It starts with a G, doesn't it? Last name starts with a G. You guys know who I'm talking about. Anyway, so
don't do that to me.
I think Garrison, John Garrison. Yeah. There we go.
Thank you.
There is this sense that because they're from here, they want to be here.
I'm embarrassed that that's the first time I paid attention to that response. So you give me a second to recalibrate. Yeah. Keep going.
So I think that there's this sense that because people are from here, that means they really want to be here and want what's best for here. And maybe for some people it is. But as Coach Rhule pointed out, we have a laundry list of guys that I don't want to put too fine of a point on this, but seems like they were using Nebraska for their own purposes rather than using their own strengths to help Nebraska. What was Trev Albert's best job before he got to the University of Nebraska?
I understand.
What was Scott Frost's best job before he got to the University of Nebraska? What would Dylan Raiola have been doing for the last 2 years if he wasn't at the University of Nebraska? He wouldn't have been starting both of those. I guarantee that. At Georgia and Ohio State, he's not starting both years.
You know what's kind of funny? So I have a ton of different thoughts.
Yeah.
I probably should have taken a break. I apologize, you guys, for being caught off guard, but sometimes that's when you'll get the best version of me. So there's two things in that. Number one, I told you about job opportunities and what's a peace of mind worth. The one thing I think that Frost and Trev both have in common, even though they didn't see eye to eye as employee to employer, was coming here took considerable talking. Considerable amounts of convincing.
Yeah.
It wasn't just one of those things that seemed to be like a natural place. Well, this just feels right. I want to be here. So I'm going to set that to the side because sometimes when it gets tough and you don't really want to be here anyway, it's easy to look other places. I think that's different than Ekeler, but to the point of at least I want to be here. I don't have any problems with that statement. I'm trying to read super fast, and I'm only paying attention. I'm not just paying attention only to Joel because that's my guy. I just know I'm going to get an opinion that's going to force me to think counterintuitive to what I might. So he says, I think it's laughable that he throws out Penn State. I don't know why you guys think that. I just want to know like where that comes. Are you saying you don't think he could have taken the Penn State job? Because if that's what that statement leads me to believe.
I think there's a lot of people that don't believe the Penn State offer was real, and I think those people are wrong. Just full stop. I think those people are wrong. I think if Matt Rhule wanted to be the head coach at Penn State, he would be the head coach at Penn State right now. Full stop.
BP, he said, reading these comments will make you dumber. I'm trying to just do a select few. So is it too long? Shane, can you not play the question? Can you play the response again?
I don't have it edited like
can
yet.
you drag or no?
Maybe.
Just do the best you can. Because there's a couple things that I'm trying not to let people's opinions sway kind of what I really think. But I think at the end of the day, I think he's telling you that he wants to be here.
He's also a coordinator. He's also been a part of things. And, obviously we hired Rob to do the defense. Mike's done a great job on special teams.
So clearly he wants to coach a position. I don't think he wants to be a defensive coordinator. He wants to coach a position.
Put them under contract and offer them extensions and hope that they stay. So I don't know what's happening. I'm kind of learning about a lot of things on social media. And you know me, I'm never going to BS anybody. With that being said, he taught us a great system of special teams.
All right.
He taught us a great
All right, Shane. I need you to back it up some a little.
You want to know something that's like really telling there before he plays it again? Is what was not on the table in the middle of the season? I'm guessing.
What?
Was a job at USC. You know who still didn't sign an extension in the middle of the season? Mike Ekeler. I'm just saying. When you're talking about wanting to be here versus not wanting to be here.
Yeah, we're just doing the facts thing.
Yes,
right?
of what Coach Rhule just told us. If I believe him that he offered him an opportunity to be the highest or second paid highest special teams coordinator in the country at a time in the middle of the season when the USC job or whatever else wasn't on the table, and he doesn't sign that extension, what does that tell you about how badly a person wants to be here or not? That's before he coaches positions in the bowl game and whatever else that may have been on the table there. What does that tell you about how badly a person wants to be here or not?
I'm trying to see I hear frustration. Like he's talking like, just knowing, he's talking like a guy that has, this is just an opinion. He's talking like a guy that's exhausted all efforts
to try and keep a guy.
Because do you know what's giving me that vibe?
Mm-hmm.
Is he says, hey, he's basically saying, hey, but at the end of the day, like I've done all I can do.
Yeah.
And so I gotta figure.
I've done all I can do, and the people that want to be here stay.
I'm going by the delivery,
and the people that don't want to.
I'm going by the delivery.
I'm going by just what he said. Like he said, if you offer a guy to do what he does and be the highest paid in the country at what he does, and that guy actually wants to be here, you sign that piece of paper. That's what it is. Like if you want to be here and you think you're the best at your job in the country, and someone will pay you to reflect that, that's it. But if you don't want to be here, like some of the other guys that he made a list about, and you don't currently have another offer on the table, and you still don't sign that piece of paper, then that kind of tells you all you need to know about who really wants to be here and who doesn't.
Yeah, I think I kind of lean that way.
Because you know who did sign a piece of paper in the middle of the season, even when there was another offer on the table?
You guys got to understand something. You don't have to, but kind of how I operate in my head is like there's an X and a Y axis.
Mm-hmm.
This is almost how I always problem solve. There's along the X-axis, there's facts and feelings. Along the Y-axis, it's passive aggressive. So when you're dealing with people or people on those chords, you plot yourself, and then you plot the person that you're trying to assess or you have opinions on, and see how you can close the gap or how close you are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a guy that is way down on the feelings lists versus facts. I'm way closer to facts than I am feelings. And I'm way lower towards aggressive than passive. So when I hear information, that's the filter that I look at it through.
Mm-hmm.
It has very little to do with my feelings. So I just want the nuts and bolts. Then I get to figure out what I think they mean.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody, like, some people are just the opposite. Some people
go with their
about
emotional
their
response, and then they try and figure it out from there.
Passive.
Yeah.
like I have to go really, really far to meet those people. They frustrate the heck out of me.
Yeah. Right.
But it is what it is. One's not right over the other, because sometimes I probably do need to have a little more feelings too, right? So even though whatever. So when I listen to this, he's very much facts and he's aggressive. With offers and jobs, a lot of times it's about feelings.
Sure. What's it feel like to be at a place? How do you feel about the people you work for?
Me?
How bad do you like the place? Yeah.
So there can always potentially be that disconnect. I don't know enough without talking to Eck. I just get the vibe that he gets around that's around the building. I wonder there definitely a backstory. Definitely a backstory. And I wonder if it started. This is what I'm thinking watching practice now. So it's all
starting to click.
It's all coming back to me. I wish I had her voice. Never mind. Listen, man.
Listen, I like that song. Big Sling guy.
I'm weird.
It's a good song.
Canadian.
I knew it.
The coaching itch had to be in there.
Like coaching a defensive position?
Yeah, he's coaching his ass off. I mean, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, if I do that long enough, I might think, oh, man, you know what? I like this. Hey, what do you think about this? Well, we're going to do this. We'll see what this guy says.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not on the table? Huh. That's what I hear.
Like he doesn't know he wanted something till he got a little taste of it.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So you think maybe more than anything the ability to coach a defensive position makes the biggest difference here?
I think, yeah, because I'm trying to think what would keep me from being one of the highest paid guys in the market.
And being great at what I do.
Yeah.
At a place that I...
What are the things... Again, I'm on the facts side.
Yeah. What else would I want that this place is not providing?
I'm not picking a side of Rhule versus Eck because I don't think that's what this is about. What I'm saying is, if in fact I was offered a substantial amount of money for an extension, what would keep me from signing to do said job? Either I don't want to be here, or I'd like to do something else in addition to.
I'm looking up right now because I want to make sure I have this right. Okay, so this is interesting.
And we're not don't listen to Game Dog about the DC stuff. Like, Ekeler doesn't want to be a DC, at least at this deal. I think Rhule saying that with his experience. I don't think that's what this. I don't think it's a DC thing.
So you want to?
I think this sounds more positional to me.
So he was a position coach at Tennessee.
Okay.
He was a position coach at Kansas, North Carolina, North Texas, Georgia, USC, Indiana, Nebraska. Those are all of his full-time jobs prior.
Makes sense.
The only place that he wasn't a special team, or the only place that he wasn't also a position coach was 2020 at North Texas, and he was only there for 1 year.
Yep, makes sense.
Every place that he's been for multiple years.
I mean, that's all I need to know.
He has also been a position coach.
Yeah. Not bad.
So.
It's trying to process real time. I can't. The whole I want to be here just depends. Well, I don't know if I don't know if I would have said that. I get why, though. If you're right about the Nebraska guy thing.
I think it is. I think because you hear the fan base.
Because he is, for a guy that's being heavily criticized, he does want to be here.
He rides for this place more than a lot of people that say they do.
And maybe that's what's sticking in his craw.
It's one
to go all TO on you.
Oh, no, that's sand, not sticks.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be right back.
I should know, damn.
We'll be right back with Ravi and WASHUT from Husker Online. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Oh, Nebraska's activity is really good. Defensively, they're really solid. Sam, is just really active. I think he had 5 steals the first half. I don't know what he ended up with, but, his activity defensively, just changes the game. And, he really really is active. But like I said, our guard play, weighs way out of his, league there, just handling the ball. He's not used to playing in the States, and, without Jackson to settle him down and help him a little bit, we just 16 turnovers for 23 points, and a 19-point difference there takes you out of the game. And then, like I said, I think it was 11-0 or 11-2 at half on second chance points. So, we were bad right there.
It was great. It's when all you see is the rim. That's one of the best feelings you can have. But even more importantly is we got the win, and my teammates were able to set me up for some easy shots to get me going early. And I was just able to keep that throughout the game. Also with that, my teammates still finding me in transition. Nick did a great job, and Ty did a great job pushing the ball up the court, playing with pace. So just getting some easy ones, and just all I saw was the rim. To put us up too. Yeah. I was just trying to make a play. Somebody, I forgot who said the ball screen. Somebody said the ball screen. Pump faked, saw him jump. So just little runner, floater, kind of pull up. I'm not gonna say I work on that specifically, but I do work on my touch in the mid range a lot. So just being confident, and like I said, all I saw was the rim.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, we're pretty much sold out the rest of the year. I think there might be a few tickets left for one or two of the games, but that's our guys deserve it, and we appreciate the support more than I think anybody realizes. You hear it early in the introductions, the Husker Power chant, and it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference for us. If we're going through a lull, we need them to help pick us up at times. And, my message was the same to our guys. Are you satisfied? Not one person in there said they are. So now we go back in the road, and we're all we got. And then, get another opportunity to be back in here next Wednesday. But, it's been incredible. Our fans, have been a huge factor in the start that we've had so far this year.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Robin WASHUT from Husker Online. Robin, what's going on, buddy? How we doing?
What's happening? I'm doing well.
There's that silky smooth, sultry, award-winning voice, man. How you been?
I'm doing well. I always just try to fit the vibe of the show I go on, and whenever I'm on with DB, it's got to be just like smooth operation.
Oh, jeez. All right. It's good to talk to you, man. You recovered from Vegas rapidly after watching that spectacle. It was good to see you there, and then you come back and get the right to ride this wave. You're a pro, but I'm going to ask you anyway. How difficult or easy is it to not compare and contrast the two sports? You understand that they're completely different things, but man, sometimes do we sure use them interchangeably.
Yeah, I've been doing this enough that I understand the varying elements that go into making a successful football program and making a successful basketball team, and the inherent differences in, resource and all that stuff. So I try not to do much of that type of comparison. If anything,
so you're not a big give all the resources to basketball. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I'm not that guy. But I also understand, and can appreciate, what Fred and his staff have done, given the resources they have in the context of this season compared to other teams within even their own league, and then also what they've been able to do compared to teams that have been under Fred's tenure here, and then previous coaches and all that. So that's kind of more how I contextualize it. I don't go sport to sport because that's not a fair comparison. I go season to season within the program and within the conference, and that's more than enough to kind of suggest how special this season has been thus far.
Robin, as you try and keep your professionalism about you, how do you process what's possible this season versus trying to stay in the moment of what's actually happening, as Nebraska, as of last night, became one of just 3 undefeated teams left in the country?
Yeah, it's strange because I always try to be kind of an even keel approach to where I try not to get overly hyped or overly pessimistic about things, but every time I try to rein things back and be all right, guys, they're not going to go 31-0. They're eventually going to slip up at some point. They just keep winning, and so I'm not saying this is going to be an undefeated John Wooden UCLA type season, but they've continued to kind of raise that bar where pouring cold water on what they've done and what the season could be, becomes a little more difficult after each game. So that's kind of the stranger thing for me is that, this is kind of uncharted territory for everybody, and I'm just not used to covering a team that wins this much and is this stoic in the face of adversity and has all these different ways that they can win. And, it's about as complete of a program as certainly Nebraska basketball has been since I've been covering them. So that's kind of the unique challenge about this season, is letting myself kind of be open to the fact that, hey, maybe this team is going to do something special. And, there isn't that kind of overlying shoe that is eventually going to drop and bring this thing back to reality. And again, that they're going to lose a game at some point. But, I don't necessarily feel the need to be or it's becoming harder to keep people from, going all in on this thing, just because every time Nebraska faces a challenge, they answer it perfectly.
I remember this one time I was sitting in this gym at Lincoln Southeast, and it was the umpteenth time that I had seen West Side and Lincoln Southwest. It was probably the 6th time in the last 2 years that I had seen Braden Frager. There was this one guy sitting next to me who had a writing utensil and a lot of paper, and I was like, hey, I think I know this guy. I want to sit next to him. And he was working diligently Do you remember who that guy was?
I believe it was me.
Yeah. So we're having these fantastic This is what, 4 years ago, Robin? 3.
Yeah, so it would have been his junior
year
high school, because he reclassified up after that season.
So we're having all these conversations, and you've got all these notes. And I was kind of being weird, and you know how I am. I was like, this is fascinating, right? And you're kind of jotting and writing and jotting and writing. I just want to know if 2026 Robin goes back and looks at those 2022-3 notes, level of shock or, I kind of saw this coming.
Oh, absolute shock.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that game, I think he had like 20 points, but it was like a lot of high volume shots. He really never got to the rim.
Do you remember watching his warm-ups?
I do. And I was watching, I was like, yeah, I get why Nebraska took a flyer on him, local kid. Like, he's got some potential. I can see this, but, if we're doing that fast forward conversation, you're telling me that he's going to be, Big Ten all freshman and, potentially have a chance at freshman of the year and is going to be regarded as maybe having the highest ceiling of anybody on Nebraska's roster when it comes to making the next level. No, I would have not believed it because, he was just still so raw and still so early in his development. And again, like you could see like why Nebraska was interested in him, because he had the athletic frame, he had a nice shot, but within the context of what he was doing at Southwest, like he was a good player. He wasn't a great player. He wasn't an all-state player. He wasn't a guy that was being coveted really beyond the in-state schools and maybe some regional schools. Like it kind of looked like Nebraska was just taking a chance on a local kid. But the way that he has developed over the last year and a half since that game is absolutely remarkable. And it's a real credit to, one, Nebraska staff for, having a plan in place to get him to this point. But I put most of the credit on him for putting in the work. I go back to this offseason talking with Fred Hoiberg, and I remember I was in his office just doing like a little off-season kind of State of the Union type thing, and you could hear a basketball bouncing in there. He's like, "Oh, you got somebody working out?" He's like, "Oh yeah, if you hear the ball bouncing,
he's
early,
a rat.
It's Braden Frager. Like it's always Braden." So like having that drive to not just do well in practice or in lifts or film study, all that stuff. Like he's putting in the work on his own. He's always the first guy in the gym. Before every single game, he is the first player out on the floor, just putting up shots. During pregame. So that's, I think, the separator, where you can have a kid that has the athleticism and some skill to work with, but if you don't have that drive to push yourself and take your game to the next level, you're not going to get any better. And so again, like Nebraska, you credit to them for seeing that in Braden and having a plan in place to help him elevate his game. But again, it's really all on him and the work that he's put in to make himself better and being willing to have a redshirt year. There's not a lot of kids these days that just want to sit around and watch and practice. He did. He reclassified up here to do it. He skipped out on a senior year of high school. And now all of that work and kind of diligence is paying off for him to where, he's becoming one of the faces of the team. And when you look ahead to Nebraska's future, he is going to be a centerpiece in what they want to build around beyond this season. So it's really been fun to watch. I know Braden, and the best part about it too is not just his physical development, but his maturation. Obviously, he's had some run-ins, with the Michigan State stuff, but the learning process that he's had to kind of grow up on the fly a little bit, I think is just as important as what he's done on the court, because it's all about, for him, channeling that confidence, channeling that emotion to where you're using it to, spice it up with your opponents and give yourself that swagger on the court while also not being a detriment to your team. So this last year and a half since that day in the gym sitting next to you at Lincoln Southwest has all been about growth and maturity for Braden Frager, and the gains he's made are unbelievable.
Robin, are you more surprised by
that day was hilarious too, by the way. I couldn't barely
Yeah.
get you to say 2 words, and you're like, dude, I don't really like you that much, and I'm trying to work. Can you just relax?
That is absolutely not true whatsoever. We had a fantastic conversation, and I learned a lot that day.
So I had seen that so many times. So when he would do something, I'd say, oh yeah, he's capable of that. And then when he wouldn't, I was like, oh, that's the downside. Like you just so remember that? And so the ability to where I think like Ernie and Lenzer and Coach Hoiberg don't get enough credit is having a culture and environment not only that allows him to flourish knowing his personality traits, but also surrounding him with pieces that complement those traits. Like that, the second part is the one I think we act like they just lucked into, right? Like there's a reason this team plays the way that they do and feed off of one another so unselfishly. Like that's intentional, right?
Oh yeah, and Braden's a perfect example of that, where every single play. So they're running like a 7, maybe 8-man rotation right now, and all 7 or 8 of those guys bring something unique to the table that helped Nebraska win. You know, obviously it's centered around Rink Mast, and then Price Sanford was kind of the marquee portal edition. But every other player does something that other players can't do, and with Braden, he's kind of the enforcer, so to speak, where when the perimeter shots aren't falling, or they need that spark off the bench, somebody just to put their head down and get to the rim, like he's their guy. And despite being the youngest player in that rotation, they have the trust in him. Not just the coaches, but his teammates have the trust in him to give him the ball and let him go make a play. And I think that's done wonders for, again, his confidence and being able to just channel that the right way when you have a bunch of older guys that, believe in you and are pushing you to, step up and be more of an alpha. That's how you evolve the way Braden has evolved. And so that, like, just go down the list, like every player, Sam does his thing. Jamarcus does his thing. Cale does his thing. Berke does his thing. And the role acceptance and Garcia even. I mean, he's kind of the 8th man right now, but when he's in the floor, like, he doesn't look like he's just there to eat up minutes. Like the old saying is, when he steps on the floor, it's Jared Garcia time. Like, he's ready to go make an impact. So that's I think what makes this group so good is everybody has clear role definition and role acceptance. And when you get a bunch of older guys that are willing to do team first things, that's how you get to 17-0.
Robin, are you more surprised by Braden Frager and where he's at as a freshman, or the fact that Sam Hoiberg can play 30 minutes a night and not only not get exposed, but actually be one of the most productive guys on the floor, even if that's not necessarily what the stats show?
Yeah, I mean, they're both surprising, but I'd probably put Sam a little bit ahead, just because, like, all off season, all you heard was about how high of a ceiling Braden Frager had. So, like, basically he's just kind of living up to the hype. Where with Sam, I don't know if anybody ever gave him that hype. Like,
it was kind of always, but
yeah, it's like, well, he's a good defender. Like, he'll play a role, with their perimeter defense, and give him a little bit here and there. But he hasn't just been like a complimentary piece. He's been arguably the most important glue guy in the Big Ten Conference, and maybe one of the best glue guys in all of college basketball because of all that he does. I mean, when you have a 6-foot dude that is getting 10 rebounds, 5 or 6 steals, 5 or 6 assists, and then scoring 11 points on like 5 or 6 shooting, like that is the like ultimate point guard production that no one ever saw coming, I think, from Sam Hoiberg. And then you add in his leadership, and you talk about the culture that Nebraska has in place. He is right up there with Rink and Jamarcus and Cale and guys that have kind of helped Fred and the staff build the kind of internal dynamic that is a big part of why the season is what it is. And, Sam, I think what stands out to me the most is every single coach that talks about Nebraska after the game goes out of their way to bring up Sam Hoiberg. Like they just talk about how critical he is to everything they do on both ends of the floor. He sets the tone for them defensively, obviously, but his offensive understanding of their system and getting the ball where it needs to go. And then the kind of icing on the cake is his ability to be a legitimate shooter. He's not the best shooter on the team, but when he's open, he could step up and knock down a three. And when you don't have, like last year, he wasn't there. His confidence as a shooter wasn't there. And so, that further limited Nebraska's offense to where it was Bryce, Juwan, and, who knows who else. Now, all 5 guys on the floor at all times can step up and make a shot. So Sam's a huge part of that. And as impressive as Braden's growth over the last year has been, how high Sam has elevated his game and how critical of a piece he is to everything that Nebraska does, to me, is much more surprising.
Yeah, this is like bizarro world, Robin, because, Nebraska's 17-0, and I'm still getting ready to ask you the questions that I am, and hopefully, I'm not that big of an idiot. But, you look at a guy like Curtis, whose upside is tremendous. We still are kind of day-to-day with Oogie's back and kind of what's going on there. They have a really good 2026 group, and I get it. Rice's team is sensational. I think all 5 starters have Division I offers.
Yes, for football and basketball.
For Rice's team, right? So they're clearly talented, and he's got data on the map locally. He's going to go back-to-back with his visits with Creighton and Nebraska coming up here. My point in saying this is it too fast-forwardy to say they're just scratching the surface? Is this uncharted waters? You're going to get into roster retention? Or do we just need to kind of chill and embrace the moment?
It's both. I lean more towards the latter, just because of what they're doing right now. Like, it's never been done, and there's no guarantee that it'll happen again. So don't get caught up in worrying about how they're going to keep their returning nucleus and what this is going to do for recruiting. Like, this is
and they got some good
season.
guys in the. I mean, like no Curtis and no Oogie yet.
Yeah. So I mean, like they've set themselves up to keep this thing going. Now, obviously, the big tasks going into the offseason are you got to replace Rink and you got to replace Jamarcus. You got to replace Sam. That's no easy task right there. And then you also got to find ways to take care of all these kind of breakout stars. Braden Frager, yesterday's price isn't today's price with him. Same thing with Bryce Sanford, and same thing with Bearcase. So, I mean, like, when you win and you have the success, it comes with a higher bill. But again, don't let that deter what is happening right now. Like, this is beyond any Nebraska basketball fan's wildest dreams, what is happening right now. The fact that one of 3 undefeated teams, the highest ranking in the program's history, like the best start in program history, it seems like every night they're setting some sort of new record and charting or venturing further into these uncharted waters as a program. So that's why I say, like, there's certainly conversations to be had about what's going to happen after this year to keep this bar even remotely close to what it is right now. But don't let that kind of distract you from fully soaking in and appreciating all that's going on right now, because again, there's no guarantees that it's going to happen again, and enjoy every second of the ride while you can.
It's kind of in my wheelhouse. Obviously, crossed over with T. Lou, Tony Farmer, Carl Hayes, Derek Chandler's my nephew's dad. Like, I'm hearkening back. I saw Carl Hayes on a total humbug, Robin, walking through the W in Vegas. He and his wife always go there for Christmas. And he was so pumped for Nebraska basketball. And it was just it was refreshing, right? He was super giddy and talking about how he wanted to see him, run the table and Coach Hoiberg do his thing. And I thought to myself, could I envision worlds where Nebraska football or another sport, even like I go back to early 2000s baseball, where those guys would see the current teams have success, and there was zero compare and contrasting, right? It was just genuine, heartfelt cheering. And I was like, Carl, like that made it made my night, right? It just is so authentic and fresh that I think basketball is just riding the wave. There is no historical comparisons yet to drag anything down, or not drag down. That's unfair. To pit it against. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's further exemplified by for the Northwestern home game coming up next month, they're doing the
if they get
Lou
back
weekend.
in the building.
Yeah. So like not only is like right now Teron Lou has verbally committed to coming back. Now the potential hang up is that they intentionally scheduled that event to be over NBA All-Star break.
Yeah.
But the Clippers are hosting, or LA is hosting the All-Star week. So we'll see kind of what his obligations are for that. But as of now, he plans on being back. And so that's a big one. He hasn't made a public appearance at Nebraska since they retired his jersey. So that was several years ago. So like that in itself is cool. But it's also cool that right now they've had over, I think, at least 75 confirmed former players, staffers, coaches, including Danny Nee, that are all set to come back to honor that 95, 96 NIT team. And so it's the highest turnout for alumni weekend they've ever had. And so you talked about Carl Hayes being fired up. Like, he's not the only one. Like, it kind of resonates throughout the Nebraska basketball alumni base, how excited and happy everyone is for what's going on right now. There's a sense of pride with Nebraska basketball because of, I think a lot of it has to do with the lack of success. And when a team is finally kind of breaking that glass ceiling and doing what this Nebraska team is doing, everybody's all on board. And maybe other programs don't have that because, then you get into the comparison. And as we all know, comparison is a thief of joy, and that's not happening whatsoever with this program and its history. So it's been really cool to see, and I think that Northwestern game is going to be a whole lot of fun, especially if T. Lou's back in the house.
Robin, last one for me here. Do you think, you've got this stretch of 3 games before Michigan, Illinois, and Purdue that are 3 games in 4 in kind of end of January, beginning of February there. Do you think being undefeated actually is, like at this point for fans, I don't know about the players, right? But for fans and maybe even media, keeping people more locked in on games like Northwestern, Washington, Minnesota, when it would be easier. Like if let's say they're 15-2 instead of 17-0, some people might fast forward to that nice stretch of games where you're playing, 3 top 10 teams in the country. Do you think the undefeated record is keeping people more locked in on a game-to-game basis regardless of opponents?
I'm sure it helps, but when you talk about the lack of success Nebraska basketball has had and the amount of pain that this fan base has endured over its history, I don't think that changes really anything. I think people, the real fans at least, understand that there is absolutely zero guarantee in the Big Ten, and there is certainly zero guarantee when it comes to Nebraska basketball. And they've seen the rug pulled out from under them. Last year they were supposed to make the tournament, and they completely fell on their face, lost a whole bunch of games they were supposed to win, and ended up missing their conference tournament. So they're not even that far removed from experiencing true disappointment. And I think that's keeping everybody in check, so to speak. There's a bunch of guys on this team right now that were experienced last year firsthand and experienced the disappointment of getting to the NCAA tournament mountaintop and getting run out of the gym by Texas A&M. So they understand that as great as things have been so far, they're barely past the halfway point right now. And there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of big challenges ahead. And for them to do what they want to do, expect to do, they truly have to embrace that one game at a time mentality. And for the fan base, I think that's a lot easier for them to do as well, because of the fact that everybody's just kind of waiting around, worrying about that other shoe to drop, and that I think will help people looking past games. I know some people are like, "Oh yeah, Nebraska's going to 100% beat Northwestern on the road or beat Minnesota on the road." I'm not in that boat whatsoever. I think that especially winning road games in the Big Ten, it's there's a reason that's kind of the gold piece of everybody's resume is how many true conference road wins you have. And Nebraska's off to a great start. They built up some equity that way, but that bubble can pop on you real quick. And so I think that will help keep this team grounded, and I think most of the fan base grounded as well.
So let me get you out in this, Robin. If you had to like kind of rub your eyes and you're not looking at your notes from 4 years ago and you're like, I didn't see that coming. Is it this difference in style of play of Bjerke Buchtengill, or is it the return of Jamarcus Lawrence being pretty different than the last time we saw him? Both guys look to be very different players from a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly both, and you can make a strong case for either one of those guys being, one of the bigger X factors for this team. I'm going to go, Bjerke obviously is extremely invaluable, but I think Jamarcus's presence, both with the way that, again, I talk about how everybody does something different. Jamarcus is the guy that sets the pace. Every time they finish a possession with a defensive rebound or get a turnover and Jamarcus has the ball in his hands, he is racing up the floor. And that pace of getting the ball into the paint right away before the defense is set is kind of the hallmark of Fred's system, where then you have those opportunities for spray out threes or, trailer back cuts, all those types of things that really make this offense click. And that those shots and those, plays don't happen without the point guard setting the pace the way Jamarcus sets the pace. And so that I put a lot of credit on him for, helping this offense become what it's become, but then also his leadership too. Like we talk about Braden Frager's growth, Jamarcus's maturity from when, Nebraska was recruiting him back in 22, like you could barely get a word out of him. Like he was the most soft-spoken kind of, I don't know if it was this lack of confidence or, shyness or whatever it is, but like, he was a guy that you wasn't going to say a whole lot. Now he's one of the most vocal guys on the team, and how comfortable he is in his own skin. I think the year away at Rhode Island was a humbling and necessary experience for him to kind of spark that growth. And now he's a different person now. He went from a boy to a man, and him kind of being another one of those tone setter leaders on and off the court is a big part of kind of the stars all aligning for this season. So Bjerke, again, you can make just as long of a case for him, but for me, just because of how far Jamarcus Lawrence has come and the things that he does to really make this team and especially this offense click the way it's clicked, I got to go Jamarcus being a little bit further ahead than Bjerke.
Just coming back from Vegas and kind of being in that area, does Grimes get any comparisons to Lawrence?
He's a different type of player, and the fact that he's a little bit more off ball, and he's taller, not much taller, but like when they hosted him on his visit, they were showing him clips of Bryce Williams, and they did that with a couple kids, but I think they view him as one of those kind of taller, off ball 2 or 3 that can also play the point. That's kind of a requirement now. Like if you're going to play for Fred Hoiberg, you better be able to bring the ball up and initiate the offense. All 5 guys can do that when whoever's on the floor. So Grimes fits that mold, but I think kind of as far as what his skill set and what they want him to be, he's going to be a little bit more off ball than Jamarcus is, but they like his potential. I know that he's redshirting this year and people haven't heard a lot about him, but
is he a legit 6'6"?
Probably with shoes on.
Yeah. So the bell hop. So one of the guys at the W, and it was when I saw Carl was telling me that, I don't know how how it goes, Robin. It was like the cousin's uncle's nephew that they used to go watch play, and he was raving about Grimes and just like what Nebraska has there, that he's flying under the radar.
Yeah, and so if they can keep him, that again, they were high. Well, they were high on Nick Janowski too. He left because he wanted to go play somewhere. So we'll see. That's the inherent
Part of it,
challenge
right?
now with every team in the country. So Nebraska's not exclusive to that, but they really like him. They were one of the few power conference teams that was willing to take a chance on him, and they think that they could have another one of those guys that maybe wasn't on a lot of people's radar in high school, that develops and evolves into a big piece of their roster. So this has been a big year for him, just like last year was a big year for Braden. And if he can come anywhere close to making that type of gain, Nebraska could have a nice little asset on their hand looking ahead to next season.
All right, we're not gonna bring down your buzz with Coach Ekeler, and
I was going to bring up.
We're not doing it, Rob.
I was going to bring up his buzz.
Of show left for that.
I was going to bring up his buzz by asking him about his Giants hiring John Harbaugh.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's
like a thief in the night, Robin. Here you are. You wooed him. He's
literally middle of the night.
He's going to cancel Atlanta. I don't even know why he would have entertained Tennessee, but Giants are like, yeah, let's just lock this up right now. But that's your family, like that franchise. Like, people enjoy working for that team in New York.
Good owners are underrated.
Yeah, I'm just glad that the GM wasn't a detriment to all this, because that was my biggest concern. I've made it pretty clear that I am not a Goshen fan, and the fact that he didn't just ruin all of this is, talk about surprising things. That ranks up there for me so far. But they got the job done. They put the full court press in. They're going to make him one of the highest paid coaches in the league, just like he was in Baltimore. And I think the real difference maker was they got Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart was a big piece in that whole negotiation. Harbaugh wanted a quarterback that they could build the franchise around, and they got Dart. They got wild Cam Scadaboo. They got Malik Neighbors. They've got Abdul Carter and Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns. I mean, so they've got pieces. They got Andrew Thomas, left tackle. They've got pieces that should be doing much more than what they've done thus far. And staying healthy is a big part of that. But also, they need a leader. They need someone that's been there and done that. And John Harbaugh is the most proven, successful coach they've had since Tom Coughlin. And I feel like there's actually finally a real adult in the room to lead all of these young players.
A leader.
There you go. That's
All
our
right,
guy,
buddy.
Robin Washington, Husker Online. Robin, appreciate the time, and enjoy the Nebraska Northwestern game on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm flying out on Saturday morning, so just make sure that there's no O'Hare silliness that derails any of my travel there.
I'm a basketball dork sometimes, Robin. I'm probably the only guy that's talking about Yates and Diallo in Washington. That's the backcourt pair that has my attention. I watched them again last night against Michigan. Keep an eye on that tandem when Nebraska plays the Huskies. I'm not fast forwarding. I'm just saying that pair is really good.
And they got a freshman that's probably going to be a big part in Braden's push for freshman of the year too. So,
well, enjoy Evanston. It's a nice, lovely little college town.
It just was it's poopy.
I like Evanston. You don't like Evanston?
They got that new arena. I haven't been to the new Welsh Ryan yet. So I heard it's nice.
I just think it's nice little.
You're so cool anyway, Rob. It's not like you're gonna get flustered either way. You're just gonna be like, I got a job to do.
Hey man, it's business trips.
All right, buddy. You be good.
We'll talk to you later, Robin.
See you guys.
Thanks.
That's Robin Washington, Husker Online.
Smooth as Malanta.
You don't like Evanston?
It's fine. I hate because the first thing people talk about is they don't talk about the quality of play. They just talk about the venue.
Oh, yeah. I haven't been to the venue, but I like that area a lot.
Yeah. Just was there.
Just north of Chicago. It's nice. Nice little place.
It's pretty.
It is pretty. It's right on the lake.
I'm plotting. I'm giving you a graph.
I see that. I see you've been drawing. You've been doing illustrations.
That's how I do conflict resolution, baby.
We got some notes here too. We'll have to get into that. But first, we're going to get into a little betting with our guy Brian Edwards from Major Wager. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
we've had some guys really emerge on both sides of the ball, which is really what we needed to see, what we wanted to see with this group. I think last year was pretty pitching heavy just in terms of some of the veteran presence, who kind of had the voices in the locker room and some of those things. And this year, just we have the luxury of having a guy like Josh Overbeek and Red Stokes, both guys that have been here for 2 years, won 2 championships. They're fifth-year players. They're sold out to what we're doing as a program. They've been outstanding leaders, and you got a guy, a fourth-year starter, and Carey back at shortstop. That's pretty comforting, as a coach as well. So those guys have really done a good job, and you have to have buy-in first from those guys, and then the rest of the guys will fall in line. But from the pitching side, Timmerman, Clark, those guys have really kind of stepped up.
Proud of our group today. One of the few games I've ever coached that played out this crazy. Hair, I need a full explanation of, is it the clock? Is it there's 4 different views that I just saw. If it's good on the floor and it's inconclusive, what does that mean? I'm not saying that's why we lost the game, but I do need an explanation from my league office on it for sure, because I don't know what the rule is. Good game. I'm really proud of our men. Thought we played hard, obviously fighting for our lives, losing 4 in a row. We knew we were going to come in here and play a team that was so determined, coming off the way Creighton played against St. John's. We did everything we could to lose the game. Battled. I'm really proud of our group. I thought we played hard, thought we played connected, thought we played together. I thought Schwartz played the game of his life, right? Really good shooter. That's, life in our league is unfortunate. Very disappointed in the loss, but very proud of our men.
We started to be more physical defensively, I think, and then we were really getting buckets in transition. We were getting the ball up the court quick, and thought our offensive flow really started to get into a groove. Yeah, absolutely. At halftime, I think they had 0 offensive rebounds. Is that right? Yeah. So great job in the first half with coming out, executing the game plan, and getting in there and playing off too was an emphasis at half. I had a couple drives in there where I just fumbled the ball, but we got into that in the second half. So yeah, we all know Sam. He's going to bring that every game. So he's just a pest out there, and he really gets us going. And those steals for him, it wasn't just JMR. It was Sam too. Getting those steals, pushing it up. He was finding me when I was getting going. So he was huge tonight.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live. Now, Vegas insider, senior handicapper, and fan of the cold Budweiser bottles, Brian Edwards.
It's got to be touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
Brian Edwards.
I don't really love it.
Brian Edwards.
Were they using the cream cheese to butter the bagel?
Brian Edwards.
I'm going with the cowgirl.
Here is Brian Edwards.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We are joined now by Brian Edwards from Major Wager. B, what's going on, buddy?
Good morning, fellas. What's happening?
How are things, buddy? We doing all right?
Yeah, question. I was just going to Ken Palm because I wanted to look at who you are playing Saturday. And
Kenneth Pomeroy.
Why is Nebraska ball not getting any respect from Ken Palm? Why are y'all 15th in Ken Palm?
It drives Ravi crazy.
I will say, though, if you go into their schedule breakdown, the analytics on that side are starting to flip because he had him going like 24-7. Now it's up to 26-5, but he's only actually got 3 predicted losses on the schedule left.
And we just got rid of Vandy after they got hammered last night. But like those are just one of those weird teams that they just stay ahead of Nebraska for whatever the reason. Even Florida, this isn't because I like you. I told Ravi 2 months ago, I said, don't let the early losses fool you. That's a really good basketball team. He's in love with Florida. He likes Michigan State. Like Nebraska beat Michigan State.
Exactly.
They beat Illinois, but I don't know, man. The metrics just seem to not quite yet be in their favor. I mean, he's still on Bama.
You have 10 top 100 wins. You have, 5 quad 1 wins? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quad 1 wins. I mean, I don't understand it. That's weird.
I don't either.
You won at number 5. You won at number 5, and you're 10 spots behind number 5. Huh?
You want an undervalued team for a team that people think is pretty good? I think they're better than pretty good.
Who?
It's not even a flyer. Put in a future for Houston. They're really good, B.
Yeah, I haven't watched a ton of them. I like Arkansas. I got 35.
Why? I argue about them every day.
I like Arkansas a lot. I just like Acuff a lot. He had 13 assists without a turnover. Huh?
That offense sucks. Although they did beat last night, they had like 108 with 2 minutes to go.
They're poorly coached. I mean, every Calipari team's poorly coached, but Acuff is legit. I like
what
some
did
of
he go
their
last night? Was it 18 and 13? He had ridiculous.
I know he had 13 assists, no turnovers. I'm not sure how many points he had.
Oh, he was ridiculous. Every time you blinked, they scored.
How about the buzzer beaters last night? 4 of them in men's and a couple in women's also.
You know what's interesting is I asked, who was it, Isaac Trotter? No, it was Nick Baugh. So I get a little upset with some of the love that the SEC gets in the middle of the pack. So that would be like Arkansas, Alabama. I'm on this whole Georgia watch because I like Florida. Georgia needed that one last night in the worst way to continue to be validated because that's one of those teams that quietly Ken Palm kind of likes because I think they're in like his top 35, and they don't have a ton of gaudy wins.
Yeah, they were in his top 35. I don't know where they dropped.
They're 32.
Okay, I think they were 28-ish before last
Yeah, they were
season.
20, 29 before that.
Okay. Their big guy got ejected in the first half against
That was
us.
against Florida. That changed the whole game.
Yeah, and but I think we're starting to turn it on. So Ken Palm's got Vandy -3 to us on Saturday. I'm going to be at that game. So the owner of Southeastern 16, the podcast company I'm working for a little bit, he's a big Vandy booster. So he's got front row seats, 2 of them. So I get the other one for Saturday at noon Central, Florida at Vandy. So I'm excited.
All right. Let's get cracking.
Let's start with my 49ers. You've got them. They're 7 or
They do not belong to you.
7.5 point dogs. Why do you like the 49ers with their defense that looks like a mash unit?
Well, they've been terrific on the road this year, 8-2, but straight up and against the spread. And I know we lost. They lost Kittle. I saw Pearsall practice on a limited basis Tuesday. I didn't see yesterday. Do you know, Ravi?
What's that?
He's playing. Allegedly, he's playing.
He's
Pearsall. Yeah.
So maybe but he was supposed to play last week too, and he got scratched late. So I don't know.
Right. Maybe you get Pearsall back, but look, Jennings and my guy D-Rob, Demarcus Robinson played great last week. 6 catches, 111 yards, 1 touchdown. Still got McCaffrey. I don't trust Sam Darnold. I just trust Brock Purdy more than I trust Sam Darnold. Now I know we just saw Seattle beat them by double digits, but I'll remind people, obviously way back in week 1, San Fran won outright at Seattle. And in the last 8 games, Darnold has as many touchdown passes as interceptions, 8-8 in the last 8 games. I trust Purdy more than I trust Darnold, and nothing against Seattle's head coach, but I give the Niners the head coaching advantage and the quarterback advantage, and I'm getting 7. I'm in.
Ooh, I'll take
7,
it.
huh?
I'll take it.
Nice.
Or 7.5. I think there's some 7.5s left.
Nice and chunky, all you can eat. I like them. The number stinks, which is like, ooh, take the Bills. How is Buffalo only getting 1? That game should be like Denver 3.5. They're begging you to take the Broncos. Are you doing it?
No, I'm taking the Bills. So I always put an emphasis on head coaching and quarterback play, but especially this time of year. And so this handicap's pretty easy for me. I just think they've got the better quarterback by a long shot. Nothing against Bo Nix. He's taken his team to the playoffs 2 years in a row. Look, the Bills have been underdogs twice this year, one outright at Jacksonville, at Kansas City. They've won 4 in a row on the road, including wins at Jacksonville, at New England, at Pittsburgh by 19. Allen, go ahead.
No, you said
okay.
Pittsburgh and boys. I don't know. I had a frog. Sorry.
I didn't know. That wasn't a shot at you, man. I'm sorry, David. My bad. Okay. So, hey, last 5 games, Josh Allen, 7 touchdown passes, 5 rushing touchdowns, no interceptions. They've won 6 of 7. I think Josh Allen's going to will his team to victory like he did last week.
All right. Speaking of Josh Allen, you got that anytime touchdown prop. Man, how are you getting such an even number on that? That's crazy.
So in the pick web, which uses like BetMGM, pick web is for Vegas Insider, BetMGM, FanDuel, DraftKings, it was all between like -110 and even money. I didn't go on those individual websites. I'm assuming that was correct, but I would like it up to -130. So he's got 14 rushing touchdowns in 17 games. He's got 4 rushing touchdowns in the last 2 games. He's a more willing runner this time of year because there's no tomorrow. I just think when they get in the goal line, they're going to call down in that area, they're going to call his number. And give me Josh Allen anytime touchdown.
All right. So you must want groceries and mortgage and everything else because you're going back to the Indiana wagon across the board against the Canes.
Absolutely. They're 8-1 against the spread as single-digit favorites under Cignetti in 2 years. And they're just better than Miami in every way. We've got the head coaching advantage. We've got the quarterback advantage. This was a no-brainer. Before the Oregon game was even over, they had the line out, and I bought it from 7.5 to 7, but I still like it at 8.5. I would like it probably all the way up to 10. For smaller amounts, I'm on Indiana in the first half. And also Indiana team total, it's either 27.5, 28, or 28.5 at various, prices. And I like it at any price, team total over. They've got 12 wins by double digits, 10 wins by 24 or more. And, what was the other note I had? I forget, but yeah, they're nasty and nobody's touching them.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Can't say I disagree with you there on that one, B.
What are you doing for 324?
I don't have plan. Well, it's not this weekend. It's next.
It's the 24th, right?
Yeah, you see Kayla and Amanda's off, right?
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I kind of would have thought it would be Amanda that no-showed, but I think it's advantage Kayla with the putting it off, though, because the longer Amanda's on the shelf is probably the better, right?
Do you worry about Kayla's weight?
Yeah. I mean, she's made it 3 times, though. Or I guess the first 2, she probably only got to 136. But she's made it 3 times. Yeah, I saw a picture on Twitter yesterday of her last weight cut, and it was scary, bro.
I'm like, that's probably going to be frowned upon.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah,
it's scary, man.
I don't know, man. Even, like, she's going to be starched.
But she still had enough juice to get by Pena. And look, I don't think it's an easy cut for Amanda either now.
Nah, that's true. But
I mean, it's easier, but especially after several years. Now it's going to be 3 years because she's out 6 months. So it's going to be more than a 3-year layoff when Amanda comes back.
Do you see Nurmagomedov is minus 1,600
in his fight next weekend?
Yeah, with Figueiredo.
Figueiredo is that big of an underdog?
Minus 1,600.
Oh, I will take a little small play on Figueiredo. He can beat anybody on a given night, right?
Dude, that's a big number.
Whoa, those odds don't matter. Are you sure you read that right? Let me go check that out.
I'm special, but not that special.
Okay.
Yeah, minus 60. Yeah, he's plus 800, buddy.
He can read, B. He just can't see.
We know he can't see. Holy smoly, you are right. How is that possible? Figueroa plus 900? Absolutely, I'll take a little bit of that.
It's wild. That's a big card.
That's insane that Nurmagomedov is favored by that much against a former champ. That makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't know. What'd you tell me you said are you taking Gaethje or you're just not because you
I'm rooting for Gaethje.
Okay.
I'm rooting for Gaethje.
That's another big number.
My brain tells me it's a young man's game.
I'm not a Patty the Batty guy. He talks too much.
But when he talks, it's so hilarious. It's great.
He's entertaining.
You gotta love the accent, man.
B, real quick, we missed Texans plus 3 at New England. You like that one?
Oh, you Sean Deemer.
Yeah, man. Stroud could not have been any worse the other night, and they still. And again, Damon, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Okay, I mean, that defense is so legit. We know it travels. And I had New England last week, and I was frustrated with them. I don't think they played very well. Houston's on a 10-game winning streak. They're 4-0 against teams that made the postseason during that 10-game stretch. Just defense. Give me the Texans.
Defense.
That's our guy, Brian Edwards, Major Wager, Vegas Insider. B, appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, y'all have a great weekend.
That is Brian Edwards from Major Wager.
I'm going to show you some of these pictures of Kayla Harrison.
Yeah?
I mean, starch.
Worried about that weight cut?
Yeah. There's just no way.
You know what I'm not worried about?
What's that?
The Glow Big Red giving event coming up February 11th through February 12th. Go to glowbigred.unl.edu to find out more. Glow Big Red raises funds for scholarships, colleges, departments, Husker athletics, arts and culture, whatever your favorite program on campus is, you can direct money directly to it. Show your Husker pride in the Glow Big Red event. It's glowbigred.unl.edu. We'll be right back with Michael Bruntz here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
We've had some guys really emerge on both sides of the ball, which is really what we needed to see, what we wanted to see with this group. I think last year was pretty pitching heavy just in terms of some of the veteran presence, who kind of had the voices in the locker room and some of those things. And this year, just we have the luxury of having a guy like Josh Overbeek and Red Stokes, both guys that have been here for 2 years, won 2 championships. They're fifth-year players. They're sold out to what we're doing as a program. they've been outstanding leaders, and you got a guy, a fourth-year starter, and Carey back at shortstop. That's pretty comforting, as a coach as well. So those guys have really done a good job, and you have to have buy-in first from those guys, and then the rest of the guys will fall in line. But from the pitching side, Timmerman, Clark, those guys have really kind of stepped up.
Proud of our group today. One of the few games I've ever coached that played out this crazy. Hair, I need a full explanation of, is it the clock? Is it there's 4 different views that I just saw. If it's good on the floor and it's inconclusive, what does that mean? I'm not saying that's why we lost the game, but I do need an explanation from my league office on it for sure, because I don't know what the rule is. Good game. I'm really proud of our men. But we played hard, obviously fighting for our lives, losing 4 in a row. We knew we were going to come in here and play a team that was so determined, coming off the way Creighton played against St. John's. We did everything we could to lose the game. Battled. I'm really proud of our group. I thought we played hard, thought we played connected, thought we played together. I thought Schwartz played the game of his life, right? Really good shooter. That's life in our league. It's unfortunate. Very disappointed in the loss, but very proud of our men.
We started to be more physical defensively, I think, and then we were really getting buckets in transition. We were getting the ball up the court quick, and just thought our offensive flow really started to get into a groove. Yeah, absolutely. At halftime, I think they had 0 offensive rebounds. Is that right? Yeah. So great job in the first half. Coming out, executing the game plan, and getting in there and playing off too was an emphasis at half. I had a couple drives in there where I just fumbled the ball, but we got into that in the second half. So yeah, we all know Sam. He's going to bring that every game. So he's just a pest out there, and he really gets us going. And those steals for him, it wasn't just Jay Marley. It was Sam too. Getting those steals, pushing it up. He was finding me when I was getting going. So he was huge tonight.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Michael BRUNTZ, Husker 24/7, rocking a very cool old school Denver Broncos hat today. What's up, BRUNTZ?
Not much. How you guys doing?
That I'm not even gonna hold you. That logo is
it's pretty sweet.
It's pretty legit.
It's pretty sweet.
It's that D with the horse is always gonna be fire.
It's they're surprisingly hard to find. I was I had an hour in Denver last weekend and not much of the old logo. They're still sticking with the Miller North logo on most of their gear. So a little disappointing. I wish they'd just go back to them. I think with very few exceptions, and this is not just nostalgia, obviously fashion forward here, but 1980s NFL jerseys are just better. I think that's a fair take.
BRUNTZ, I don't want to fight you, but like, what are you doing with the cut of the sleeves?
No, I'm not. I'm logos. I don't care about the
Yeah,
sleeve.
not the fits.
Not
just
the fits.
Okay.
The logo.
Although I like a big shoulder pad if I can get one
with the like AP sleeves. Those are
I call them the Steve Atwaters.
Yeah,
he had the huge shoulder pads and the enormous
horrible in
sleeves.
his gear for a guy that brought drama. He should have been a little sleeker.
Yeah, no, but I think the logos and designs were better.
And color schemes, good color
Yes.
schemes in the 80s, yeah.
Do you support your friend Ravi Lulla, Michael BRUNTZ?
Well, you're going to need to. I need more context.
I'll say you need
than
more
that.
context. I'm not a
Would
blanket
you like
statement
the
guy.
opportunity to make $20 back?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Would you like to lay it on the fact where Steve Atwater went to college?
Oh.
You
Come
taking
on.
it or no?
No,
You know it.
I don't remember.
BRUNTZ?
Arkansas?
Correct. Ding, 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 ding.
Yep, I didn't have that one.
I shouldn't ask a Denver fan. I'm always looking at the opportunity to siphon more bets from you.
Listen, I told you I would take you guys out.
Yeah, but you want my kid. I don't want to go out with them.
Well, you said you wanted to do the whole thing. I was trying to help you so you don't have to feed him.
We'll go hang out with BRUNTZ. BRUNTZ, you watching any high school hoops?
No, not much. I'm sorry.
Are you watching the portal?
A little bit. Yeah.
Are you watching coaching developments? What is Michael BRUNTZ doing while he's waiting for his Broncos?
With all due respect to the high school hoops that's going on right now, I don't have much time for high school hoops.
Lincoln is playing good ball.
I know. That's what I see out there. I haven't been in any gyms recently, so I can't help you there. I'll defer to others on the high school hoops. Maybe once. What is it? Tuesday is basically the enrollment deadline. A few days after that.
Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Did they start class on Monday?
They've already started. They started on Monday. Yeah.
So you get basically a full week after class.
Yeah, I mean you can.
I feel like you might be able to fudge that a little.
They finagle it. If you're a grad student, it doesn't matter as much.
Good word, BRUNTZ, not fudge. It's finagle.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you loved it, fudge.
Wow. He's just been taking shots all morning, BRUNTZ. It's
jeez.
Right? It's pretty slim pickings around here with guys I can rock with.
Damon, do you have a Steelers coaching hot board? Do you have give me your top 3?
I don't. I mean, I would take Flores. It doesn't really matter for me as long as I think they exude toughness and we can somehow strike a deal for a goddamn quarterback. Flores with this personnel defensively, now he's got to have a couple of tweaks, and I'd like to see a couple of deals redone, restructured, but they should be playing better defense than they were. And I think his creativity, I get back to the whole Blitzburg thing. So
okay.
I don't mind Flores. I think he's a tough guy. He's as weird a communicator as Tomlin is, just doesn't have the great one-liners, but he's very gruff and a little terse.
Terse.
Long as Tua isn't his quarterback, he doesn't have to call anybody a baby. Outside of that, I don't know. I just want a quarterback.
Mm.
Is there a Bo Nix out there that we can transform?
We could send you Mac Jones if you want him.
No, watching Mac Jones elude pressure in the pocket gives me the willies. It's like Mac Jones sliding around in the pocket is like he's dodging water in a car wash. It's just not gonna work. It looks horrible. What?
Dodging water in a car wash is not what I've heard before.
It's like,
got him.
Like, no,
Got
bud,
him.
you're wet. no, it's not working. No, we need a quarterback, BRUNTZ. What do you got for me? Can you make a deal? Let's make a deal.
Well, you gonna draft one? You don't want to draft one
in this quarterback draft?
Not this year.
No, I know. It's Pavia doesn't do much for you. Ty Simpson.
You want to go get Trinidad Chambliss in like the third round?
Island time all the time.
Island time, man. Hey, how about if you're Dante Moore, I get it. You want to come back because you do need more starts, right? And you have some deer in the headlights to you a little bit. But man, how much money you think D Moore is making?
Oh, they're got to pay him. Oh, sorry, you can answer. BRUNTZ.
No, go ahead.
I was based on what I've heard from what Ty Simpson was getting offered to come back.
That can't be true. For Ty Simpson,
we got to be talking north of 4, though, right?
Oh yeah, I would for more.
Yeah,
I mean we're probably
I
close
would
to
guess
5
so.
or 6.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I mean, and it's I don't know. I mean, you could probably do
Salmon
some
and Locks, all the cool breakfast spots they got in Eugene. I'm definitely staying for $4 million.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair number. I mean, considering what was floating around for some other quarterbacks, I mean, I think 4 is 4 the floor there? Like,
Yeah.
is it more than that? Yeah, probably.
Well, I think 4 is definitely the floor for Dante Moore. Like if you're convincing him to come back instead of being the first or second quarterback drafted in this class, I think 4 is the floor. I think the real question is, what does a backup quarterback cost in Eugene?
So I got to ask. This was one of the on my Ask Michael BRUNTZ lists. BRUNTZ, I talked to I talked through one coach, but talked to 3 coaches at elite levels, and they were talking to me about somehow Kalen came into the discussion and kind of the fit, right? Where a guy he's a good locker room guy, going to be really good in the quarterback meetings. You could roll him out there for a start and an injury, and you're still going to have a chance to win. And he said quarterbacks like that are kind of undersold. He said 2 of the 3 said one of the things that they could see happening is a very, very high degree of difficulty of being able to keep 3 quality quarterbacks in your room. He said number 3 is going to be good enough to play somewhere at a school that can win enough where he's going to be hard to stay in your room. And I thought to myself, would I ever have thought you would struggle to keep 3 good quarterbacks in a room? But that might be a thing.
It's hard to keep 2, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, 3 is rare. I mean, what BC and I were talking through this the other day. Like, when was the last time you had like a true quarterback competition, and when was the last time you had 3 guys involved in it? It was the 3-headed race of Martinez, Jebbia, and briefly Patrick O'Brien. You know what happened to Patrick, right? Like that's the last time. I mean, it's challenging.
POB said CYA.
Yeah. Well, you guys know what happened to Patrick, right? That's how the news came out. But no, I think it's a challenge. I mean, and you know, from talking to people about Daniel, I think there was some surprise that he didn't go to a place where, you know, the playing time was a little bit more clear.
Somewhere like that, right?
Yeah. And I don't know, he's an interesting, I mean, you laid it out pretty well. I mean, I think he's obviously was great in the locker room. He's always been that way. People maybe overlook the fact that he was the one that put together most of the 2024 recruiting class before things kind of went a different direction late in December that year. A lot of those guys are still around. I mean, it's not he's not going to be a stranger in there. And I still think there's room for growth there. I mean, he played at Virginia, but it's not like he's a finished product. I mean, I think there's a lot of growth still in the tank for him. And it's the thing that when we start talking about the quarterbacks, what's this offense going to be? I mean, that Dana Holgorsen says, we're going to get the best guy we can, and then we're going to have those conversations in January about what this offense is going to be. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think we probably need to get some answers on that too at some point to kind of see how each of those quarterbacks fit, because I don't know. I guess in seeing Daniel play, I mean, I think he's a little bit of a different quarterback than the other two, but I mean, I think he can also do some things, that would fit the direction Nebraska's going. It's going to be interesting. And I think, what maybe helps him a little bit in being able to keep 3 quarterbacks is you don't have the spring portal period anymore. Cause I would be really concerned if you had that as kind of the status quo now, if you're having, the ability of guys to leave later after spring ball.
BRUNTZ, is it maybe as simple as, I mean, coming off of Coach Rhule's comments yesterday, a guy that wanted to be here and he looks at it and he goes, okay, Calandria's 1 year. And then you look at, well, hey, it's me and TJ Lateef in 2027 and see what happens. Cause you have to assume they don't want to start a true freshman again when Trey Taylor gets on campus. Like, that's not a terrible stretch, right? Like that seems pretty straightforward.
No, I mean, I think, I don't know. And it's hard to tell too. I mean, how much realistically can you kind of bank on like what something's going to look like the following year, Sure. Like, yeah, like it's, who
knows who's here even. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks great. I think it looks pretty favorable now to be in that type of a competition, but does Nebraska go get another 1 year guy next year? What does Trey Taylor add to that competition? I mean, there's a lot of questions there. But yeah, I mean, it's always interesting. Is he in a better situation now than what he would have been at Virginia, where you've got, two quarterbacks with starting experience, significant starting experience going in there? I don't know. I mean, I think, from Nebraska's point of view, it's great because you've got, a lot of boxes checked with a good locker room guy who can go in there and play. And for Kalen, I mean, it's an opportunity to compete. And I mean, is it even a little bit more wide open than what it was the last time he was here? Probably.
Interesting, because the way that it was explained is it's like, a 2-3 tweener guy, and this is a Power 4 school, and he's saying, these guys now can make, whatever, 300, 400,000 someplace and go play it at UMass or SDSU or NDSU, and those coaches they're gonna win because they're good enough. They just don't have time to wait. So I was like, it's just an interesting position. I didn't see. I get the whole 1-2 thing, but quarterbacks have a hard time staying healthy throughout the course of a season. To not have 3 or 4 guys in a room is flat out scary.
Yeah. Well, no, it is. And I mean, even I think that also is why you needed to get a quarterback in 26. Like I don't think that nowadays you can just like skip a class. Like, in some ways you kind of need that freshman as a backstop too, to even, the other veteran guys that you have in a room. Just because 3 is having the situation that Nebraska has now, I think is just kind of rare. Like, and
even when Ravi described the perfect quarterback he wanted to fill out the room, I was like, what do you just put that on a flyer?
Which, by the way, with the addition of
it was so myopic.
With the addition of the 26 guy, whose last name I don't know how to say.
Vibalu?
Vivabel? I don't know how to say it. It's Tanner.
Yeah, Tanner.
But with the addition of him, it played out almost exactly how I described it.
I was like, how are we marketing that? You can compete, but not really. Got to have good character. Don't get us beat if you play like who.
And we got it. I mean, it happened.
That's a heck of a job recruiting. BRUNTZ, how do you feel about kind of the wants versus needs? There's lots of narratives about, go get this guy in the portal or that guy in the portal. And, quietly, You've got a big time D-tack on campus coming. You've got one that you kind of flew under the radar and snagged from Pitt. You've got a new safeties coach. When you're looking at just low key kind of quiet additions, encouraged, intrigued, interested. I mean, we have yet to talk about Miles Taylor. It's kind of an afterthought. Do you think that's kind of how they want to do it?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a thrown in there like an oh by the way, which I appreciate the oh by the way, but no, I think when you kind of dig into the resume a little bit, I mean, was a co-coordinator at South Dakota. He's familiar with the 4-2-5. He played defensive back at Iowa, and that's kind of the direction that Nebraska wants to go coverage-wise, or they've said they want to. So it makes a lot of sense to me to bring somebody in with that kind of a resume. And, I think overall, as you kind of get into the back nine here of the portal period, I mean, I think, Nebraska's done a pretty good job of filling needs. The defensive tackle thing, I think, is still a legit narrative where you'd like a little bit more help there if you can get it. And, we'll see if there's anything left after that. I mean, running back's obviously a big narrative that's out there too, which I'm sure you guys have touched on once or twice. But that's I think you needed to get better across the lines. You needed to address quarterback. I think linebacker was a bigger need than people were talking about, and that you added some production and guys that can run there too. So we'll see how the pieces fit together. Once we're past the roster or talent acquisition portion of the calendar, then we're off to actually making those pieces work on the chessboard.
How about the retention? I'm not surprised. I think, Keanu Davis was always going to be interesting. I think there's a reason that there was a delay, right? I mean, Pat Stewart just finished meeting with those guys in the last week, so I think you kind of had to see where you were. But at no point ever, and I think we said this about a month ago, did I buy into the Evans-Barney thing. I don't know where that banter came from. You're looking at retention versus production. Are you pretty cool? I mean, you're steady Eddie anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the Evans one's a big one. I mean, when you kind of start talking about, Evans and Pritchett, when you start talking about that line and kind of reshaping things, I mean, Pritchett was playing really good football towards the end of the year.
He was.
Justin Evans doesn't say much. We don't hear from him a lot, but he was really good this year.
Off air? No, should I tell you now?
Yeah.
I want you to finish, Brunts. I don't want to cut you off, but
no, go ahead.
So we're at Bishop Gorman, and when I say almost every, outside of him being asleep, every chance I get, I try to get Justin to say something. So we're at Bishop Gorman, and I'm kind of crabby, and it's like day 3. It's the Sunday before they go to the Giants Raiders game. So he walked past me the first time, and I was like, man, you're going to get enough of not speaking to me. He kind of looked over his shoulder and kept on walking. Didn't say one word. So we're coming back in, and I'm waiting to do a coaching interview, and I ran and gave him a fake. I mean, it took some stones, right? Ran and took a fake elbow on top of his head, and he looked dead at me, and he said, "You got a problem," and kept on walking. That's all he said. I was like, I quit. I'm done.
I occasionally like to, after games, have the media relations folks go over and ask if guys will talk, because that's how you have to do it nowadays. You can't grab them yourself. I always get a kick out of, hey, can we get Justin Evans? And guy walks over there and says, hey, can you talk? And it's just like, no, and just keeps moving. So, but no, I think making sure that you got those two pieces back with the line was really important. Certainly the wide receiver room staying as it was, plus Gilmer, I think is important too, because I mean that either Hunter or Barney enter, and suddenly that changes the math quite a bit, I think, on what you would have to do out of the portal this cycle. So, yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the retention piece of it probably gets overlooked a little bit in the conversation.
The one you're going to remember out of that room is Quinn Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't say much. We think a lot, but and the fact that he's been low maintenance and continue to mature, he's going to be really, really good, Brunts. Really good.
He's not small. He's not small.
No. And have you spent much time with him? No,
they don't really let us do that anymore.
Well, you gotta get like when you get to do the early stuff, grab Quinn. He's super smart. He's thoughtful. He's really good natured, and he's just naive enough to where if you put him with the right kind of question like a guy like yourself, he's a gem. Like I'm a huge Quinn Clark fan.
Yeah, no, during the recruiting process, I mean, he was always a pretty good interview. And I don't know.
Sometimes he's like selling himself.
Well, and I mean, it means a lot to him being there. I think that's pretty obvious given his family history. But no, I mean, he's one of those guys that I think appreciates the opportunity that he got being at Nebraska. So that's always nice.
Bruntz, does it, speaking of Ja'Cory Barney and the wide receiver room, does it tell you anything about, I don't want to try and lead you into anything here. I found it really interesting considering what the quarterback position, how much fluctuation there was there, that there was basically none in the wide receiver room. Did that stick out to you at all?
Of guys moving on or
guys not moving on from the wide receiver room?
Yeah, no, I think that's, I don't think I was surprised. I mean, I think, I don't know. I think it's a group, and especially like even the second level guy or the second team guys, like we didn't get to see a ton of like Keelan Smith, of a kid from Miami. I'm blanking on his name. Mills. Those guys I think they're intriguing to me going into next year. I mean, I think they've got to get a little bit better and winning one-on-ones, but it felt like last year, like if you're grading the wide receivers, especially in the passing game, like it's almost like an incomplete grade in some ways in my mind, because it just kind of got to the point late in the year where, they were everything was so around the line of scrimmage that, I'm at least intrigued to see what that picture looks like, and a little bit of a different offense with a different offensive line, with a different quarterback. I was okay with things staying kind of static there just because it is a younger group. I think there's a lot more in the tank for an Isaiah Hunter too. So we'll see what they do. But, I think kind of keeping everybody in the fold there was really important. And that's probably when you start talking about retention. I mean, I think that was a really important group to keep together.
Yeah, I really like the room. I mentioned Quinn, and I think Keelan is fantastic. And I got into a conversation with Caleb the other day, Bruntz, about that room and getting work with the new guys in. And he said, surprisingly, and he's being sarcastic because they're offensive guys, he goes, they're pretty tough-minded. It's a competitive group, so they're fun to go against. And I'm like, wow, even the pretty guys? Yeah, I always joke with him about the pretty boys. And he's like, there's a lot of reverence there for how those guys go to work. That has to be a to kill shorts thing, I would think. At least part of it, in my opinion.
And even if you think about kind of how it's a narrative, but I think it was also the result of Nebraska's struggles to protect the quarterback and that kind of stuff, and just to pivot to more of a, riding Emmett Johnson. I mean, I never got the sense that like there was a lot of pushback from guys like, Dane Key and Hunter, and I mean, even Barney too. I mean, that they were willing to block, like they were willing to get in there and be physical. And, I don't know that that's always the case with, wide receiver groups. So,
whatever. Watch their mood. Like they never really flinched. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Barney was still a menace. And I mean, he hears he falls down too much. And like he kind of can soak that in. And Keelan Smith waiting opportunities and Cortez Mills. Like it just, I'm not 100% sure, but it strikes me as a room whose position coach had control of that room.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a big part of it, right? Like your position coach has to have good control of that room to not only nurture you, but like to, I don't know if it's protect. I don't know what the word. I'll just stick with nurture for lack of a better term. But like it's his room.
Yeah. No, it was after the bowl game. There was kind of like a side hallway back by the, where they were doing post game and stuff. I mean, he had a pretty lengthy, not emotional, but like, a pretty good conversation I could kind of overhear with, his wide receivers, the whole group, guys that were leaving, guys that were coming back. Like, it felt like a pretty tight knit group, just based on, kind of overhearing the conversation that I wasn't supposed to be a part of. But I don't know. I mean, the little glimpses like that, I think are, provide a pretty good lens into maybe what that room was like.
Yeah. BRUNTZ, I'm 50 now, 51 now. I was 43, 44-ish when I learned it was eavesdropping and not eavesdropping.
Oh.
Is that too late for you to not make fun of me?
No, that's fine. Is there, do you know, is it like the eaves on a house? Is that like what it comes from?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. Again, see that. Don't say things to smart people. Like who takes it from me admitting that I didn't know the difference between eaves and eaves until I was in my 40s.
I just want to know what it means.
It is a reference to houses. To the roof of a house. Yeah.
Wow, you want to be my Jeopardy partner?
It's not a team game, is it?
Well, I mean, if we were having like a house game.
Yeah, that's true.
Me and you against.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can do that.
Tupac. It's just me against the world.
Apparently, people used to literally lean kind of over the roofs of houses to hear conversations. So
there you go. Wow.
Look at this guy. Look at Michael Bruntz.
Very, very.
I didn't know that. You guys looked it up. I just asked a question. I learned something here
very
today.
Bruntzian.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just curious.
You knew without even knowing. That's the
I didn't know. I'm just asking.
A correlation between the eaves on a roof.
That's the only term I've ever heard for eaves before, so that would make sense. But
yeah, other than Adam,
I live in an old house. I got eaves out the wazoo over here, man. It's
got eaves on eaves on eaves.
You got eaves everywhere.
Eaves out the wazoo.
So did Adam. That was the problem.
Darn that apple. Bottom jeans. Sorry, Bruntz. I'm being a child. I'll grow up.
Bruntz, did we miss anything from a rather busy week? Did we skip
anything?
I
didn't tempt you with Nebraska basketball. I apologize.
That's okay. There'll be other opportunities, I'm sure, to talk Husker hoops. So we can
32-0 for you, right? That's how you got it drawn up.
Yeah, I mean that's what they're on pace for. That's what the math says.
I mean, why not?
They're going to be the only undefeated 5 seed in NCAA history, probably.
Listen, the metrics are starting to turn on them. The metrics are starting to turn in their favor.
The closet snark is utter brilliance. It just is.
Bracket Matrix officially has them on the 2 line now.
There you go. So where does that get them? How close does that get them to Nebraska? Where does that potentially?
Probably San Diego somewhere.
Buffalo? Is Buffalo or Portland?
I would hope somewhere in the Midwest, I don't know.
I don't know the region.
I don't know what the sites are this year.
Is it Oklahoma City one? Oklahoma City,
one.
St. Louis one.
That's one.
That one.
Another one.
Those wouldn't be bad. Those would be good sites.
Dude, Oklahoma. I'm not an OKC.
Well, I'm not saying it's like a great place to hang out, but it's not far.
I could hit the little breakfast spot I went to in Tulsa though, and that was good.
Go to the intersection in Bricktown of Joe Carter Way and Flaming Lips Boulevard or whatever it is back there behind the stadium if you want to.
I got a couple of breakfast spots that I could recommend, Bruntz, if you want to. I mean, would you travel with me or would you just like, nah, I'm not riding with that guy. I'm too BC driven.
You want to drive down with me in BC? You asking for a ride?
I mean,
that'd be fun.
Would you guys put me in the back seat? You guys like the same snacks I like.
I think we might have found a third.
I'm funny too.
Saddle up, partner.
Just ask me. Like super funny. Do you know my go-to snack now? Do you care? Can I tell you? I like the no-shelled. Stop making fun of me. I'm finally meeting a friend.
No, BRUNTZ is funny. That's all.
I know he's being a jerk, but it's fine. I like the wonderful pistachios that aren't in the shells. Do you know the brand I'm talking about?
No, I don't. Do they got a flavor?
So my favorite is sea salt and cracked black pepper.
Okay.
But I like them all so far. They have a chili one I like. They have one in a green bag that I like.
Oh, I just do the regular. I just do regular.
They're unbelievably good.
Are they in like a tin or is it like a?
No, it's like a resealable zip bag.
It's a bag.
Okay.
You're notorious for sending me some sort of funny picture later on in the week based on our segment. So I'm gonna send you a. You've been on a roll lately. I'm gonna send you.
You gotta stop taking pictures with binoculars, DB.
They're gonna blame me. I was upset, and Jess goes, that's your fault, right? And I go, yeah, I'm just joking when we're taking the photos because I hate taking the group photos. I didn't know that was going to be the one that they used. So yes, I was being a jerk, but I didn't think that was going to be the one. You know what I mean?
I gotcha. You were hoping for a little photo editing, somebody to help you out.
I was going to eventually take the binoculars down and just take a regular picture, but I don't take regular pictures with those guys. So your text was funny, but
yeah, see, it's the lock screen now. There you go.
Oh no, he didn't. All right, back to the pistachios. BRUNTZ, you have a great pistachios. Got to be in your wheelhouse too, right?
Yeah, I just haven't tried them. I'll look for them now.
I'm very particular about the brand. I believe it's called Wonderful.
I like to crack. I like the ones in the shells. I like to crack them.
It's fine, but
not in the car. In the car, that'd be terrible.
Car would be a mess.
Car would be like.
Wait a minute! Don't you eat Cheez-Its in the car?
You don't have shells.
but I'm not cracking shells. I'm trying to drive.
They crumb.
Crumbs and shells are a different deal. Shells, you have to have a different thing to put the shells in.
Just put like 6 in your mouth and use it as a spittoon. They're already 3/4 open.
I know, but then you have to have a spittoon. You've got a whole other part to this. Got a whole other thing.
I'm still traumatized over his bad musical choices as a road partner. That's what he's on.
He's just mad because he's got bad taste.
What decade are we talking?
All over the place. I'm eclectic.
Okay.
It was bad.
No.
If you hop in the back seat, Damon.
Yes.
BC and I usually stick. We're more of a '90s car. So if
'90s is
that
fine.
does anything for you.
90s.
BC gets the burn CDs out, gets the book of CDs out, and we just start
flipping through.
Yeah.
We had a couple of cut-ups of him on his segment. He said some more funny things impromptu.
Nice.
We're going to keep those in the bag.
It's like
it's a big sound effects week for BC.
Oh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Shane, do you have that? Would you like to play BC for BRUNTZ?
It's like a church potluck. You don't want to offend anyone.
No,
that wasn't it.
Not it. It
means he doesn't have it.
No, he cut it up. I heard.
Do you have it, Shane?
I do. I'm looking for it.
All right. Slow motion is better than no motion. It's not like BRUNTZ doesn't have things to do.
I have 47 Brian Christopherson cuts here.
You have 47 BC cuts?
It is like my favorite to cut up.
He is.
I will say, I just want to give both of you a warning here. BRUNTZ and BC's idea of 90s music and your idea of 90s music may not be the same.
Are you like Hoobastank and I'm like
No.
Bottles in my
BC will go 90s hip hop. He'll go a little bit of rap music.
Big Red Hot Chili Peppers guy.
Some Red Hot Chili Peppers. He's got some thoughts on modern the modern hip hop and kind of the way things have gone. So
Strong Takes BC. Should we change his nickname? He's got a lot of hot takes.
Like the whole
I don't know.
PC
I don't know that they're. I don't know that they're for public consumption, but in the car, he'll kind of go old man on you about that stuff. So
I do have a question. Is it okay if I sat in the front seat, or do I have to sit in the back?
He's not wrong. Hip hop now is terrible.
you can you can sit in the front probably. I think that's fair.
Probably. So diplomatic.
Just don't let him drive if you want to get there.
Well, I'm driving this bus, but well, you can ride shotgun.
I'm a great driver.
You never drove by.
You should see me park, Brunts. I'm spectacular. Even pulling into Next Gen yesterday, where this Yahoo parked diagonal.
I'm in the lines.
I was trying to back up so I could park straight, and he literally was going to cut my little car off.
Wow.
I didn't know what you were doing.
Parking straight like you should have.
I know what you were doing.
He's a big I'm just in the lines guy.
If I'm in the lines, I'm in the lines.
Yeah, everybody's favorite. All right, Brunts. You're my guy. I'll see you later.
Yeah. Been a pleasure, guys.
Team,
we'll talk to you later.
No show, but Pistachios.
That's Michael Brunts. That's for 24/7. Appreciate the time as always, Brunts. You good?
Are you
all right?
What's wrong with? So apparently the stream is out on no shell Pistachios too.
I like the shells, but I wouldn't do shells in the car.
Shells are fine. This brand is spectacular.
That brand makes ones in shells too, though.
I know. I've seen them.
Yeah, I
saw them in the grocery
Is it the green lettering one?
Yeah, I think
it
you
has
showed it to me.
one of the bags is green. The lettering on that green bag is black, though.
Oh, yeah. I think it's.
But the bag is pea green.
Yeah.
I think that's the original flavor, or like the no flavor one, without any extras.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure because that's one I get. I like the no extras. I like pistachios by themselves. I think are good.
Apparently, I should be kinder to OKC. Hey, by the way, what was the name of that breakfast spot you sent me to?
I mean,
that was on her recommendation.
Yeah,
since she knows that area like the back of her hand. That breakfast spot was sensational.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
That's where I met my little friend from Sacramento. Who was
on the that?
Site. Oh, he was. Remember, he was the guy that wanted the onions sautéed just a certain way.
Oh, yeah.
Avocados.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, he was from Sacktown.
Kenny, I agree. I like the process of taking the shell off. It's like it's
therapeutic.
No, it's just like a thing to do. Sometimes if you like to stay busy or you're trying to
Finally, Kobe agrees with me. No shelled pistachios are superior in caps.
You know what I think it is for me is I eat them too fast if they don't have shells.
Yeah, well, you have to have some discipline. What I do is I peel the bag, I shake a couple in my hand, and I pop them, and I move on.
Pop them?
Is that how I said it?
A little bit.
Where's Austin? How did I say it again?
Pop them?
Whose dialect is that?
That's Mike Tomlin. He's like, pressing. That was a pretty good Tomlin. Am I not allowed to talk about him anymore since he quit?
No, I love Tomlin.
Okay.
I love Tomlin. Tomlin is my friend.
That was a pretty good pressing. I'm just saying I'm not far off on that.
Pressing.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Words.
I love him.
Bop him. Pressing.
You got to be continually pressing.
I don't ever want to see him coach in the division.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's nice he's going to take a year off.
People just come in and drop the hammer. Emmett, pistachios are bad all around, no matter the flavor with or without the shells. Strong take there, E.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
It is, right?
Austin says, I knew the minute I heard Ravi say pop, Tyrone would somehow get brought up.
Well, it was giving me Tyrone vibes.
No, it was Mike Tomlin vibes. Pressing. Pop him.
I'm going to need you to stop.
Pop him.
We're just talking.
So.
Talking. Pop him.
We're just talking.
Twist it.
Pressing.
Bop it.
They know what that is about.
Where should we draw the line between imitating someone we've heard talk before?
I don't know. If it's a specific person, you're allowed to try and imitate them. I think
if I just went like all Mahatma Gandhi, would you be like?
Have you heard Mahatma Gandhi speak?
Yes.
His particular.
I watched the 3-hour. No, I actually watched about an hour and 10 minutes. It was worse than Dancing with Wolves.
Yeah. So hold on. That's a white guy named Ben Kingsley. So you have not heard Mahatma Gandhi speak.
I thought Dances with Wolves was Kevin Costner.
So that's different.
You still mad about that?
No, I'm just saying, like, if I can't be like, oh, I heard Malcolm X speak, it's because I watched the Denzel movie. That's a different thing. I've heard Denzel speak. Now, if I'm trying to do like,
I feel like you're gatekeeping your dialect.
No, if you want to like name, can you name a Indian person? That is not me.
Deepak somebody. Gangahar.
Almost nailed it. So
no,
close.
he was a doctor. It was T. Frey's doctor.
Deepak Gangahar?
Yeah.
Was that the actual name?
Yes.
Or are you just putting things together?
Hear the words.
You're like, what's the Indian first name? Deepak. What's the Indian last name? Patel.
Isn't that political?
What?
Isn't he a politician?
Not. There's like a billion Patels.
I didn't know. That's like the Black People's Johnson.
It's a very, very common Indian last name.
Really?
Patel is, yeah.
They know,
especially in certain regions, like kind of the north central regions of India. It's a very common last name. Patel is.
You might be the most racist person I know.
How so?
Well, you're a trip.
You're the one just grabbing Indian names and be like,
that was his doctor's name.
That's a guy.
I'm calling T. Fraser.
Do it. Ask him what his doctor's name was.
That was his doctor's name.
What was the last name?
I think Gangahar.
Gangahar?
Yes.
Maybe. That sounds Southern Indian. There's more common names in different parts of the country.
That's fine.
That's all I'm saying. Patel's very common in like the north central region.
We got Jacksons and Johnsons in northeastern United States, southeastern United States, western United States.
I don't know if you know this, DB.
Yes.
That's not where they're from originally. So that may not have the same impact on names as people from India. Also, do you need a history lesson here?
You're so foul.
Probably wasn't their original last name either. Happy MLK Day coming up.
Pressing.
Just wrong.
What?
So hey, can we take a break, please?
Yeah, let's take a quick break.
I'd like some bed music so I can get my act together.
Let's take a quick break here, Shane. That's TB. I'm
that
Ravi.
was his doctor's name, though.
I'm
I
Ravi.
just want to get to our guest here, Gary Chava.
Sure. We'll be right back to wrap up the show on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Oh.
We've had some guys really emerge on both sides of the ball, which is really what we needed to see, what we wanted to see with this group. I think last year was pretty pitching heavy just in terms of some of the veteran presence, you know, who kind of had the voices in the locker room and some of those things. And this year, just we have the luxury of having a guy like Josh Overbeek and Red Stokes, both guys that have been here for 2 years, won 2 championships. They're fifth-year players. They're sold out to what we're doing as a program. They've been outstanding leaders, you know, and you got a guy, a fourth-year starter, and Carey back at shortstop. That's pretty comforting, you know, as a coach as well. So those guys have really done a good job, and you have to have buy-in first from those guys, and then, you know, the rest of the guys will fall in line. But from the pitching side, Timmerman, Clark, those guys have really kind of stepped up.
Proud of our group today. You know, one of the few games I've ever coached that played out this crazy. Hair, you know. I mean, I need a full explanation of, is it the clock? Is it the, I mean, there's 4 different views that I just saw. if it's good on the floor and it's inconclusive, what does that mean? I'm not saying that's why we lost the game, but I do need an explanation from my league office on it for sure, because I don't know what the rule is. Good game. I'm really proud of our men. Thought we played hard, obviously fighting for our lives, losing 4 in a row. We knew we were going to come in here and play a team that was so determined, coming off the way Creighton played against St. John's. We did everything we could to lose the game. Battled. I'm really proud of our group. I thought we played hard, thought we played connected, thought we played together. I thought Schwartz played the game of his life, right? Really good shooter. That's, life in our league is unfortunate. Very disappointed in the loss, but very proud of our men.
We started to be more physical defensively, I think, and then we were really getting buckets in transition. We were getting the ball up the court quick, and thought our offensive flow really started to get into a groove. Yeah, absolutely. At halftime, I think they had 0 offensive rebounds. Is that right? Yeah. So great job in the first half. Coming out, executing the game plan, and getting in there and playing off too was an emphasis at half. I had a couple drives in there where I just fumbled the ball, but we got into that in the second half. So yeah, we all know Sam. He's going to bring that every game. So he's just a pest out there, and he really gets us going. And those steals for him, it wasn't just Jay Marley. It was Sam too. Getting those steals, pushing it up. He was finding me when I was getting going. So he was huge tonight.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We talked a bunch about Next Gen Male Medical earlier. Don't forget, you can always go to nextgenmalemedicalclinic.com to find out what services they offer and to schedule your appointment. Or you can give them a call, 614-9700. That's 402-614-9700. Talk to our cool friends over there, Nick, or our clinician, Laura, who, listen, they don't have Dr. Deepak Gangahar over there. Is that right?
Well, I know and you don't know.
Because he wasn't my friend's doctor.
Oh. God.
Well, you just thought we all knew each other or what? He probably does go to Temple with my dad, if I'm being honest. If I had to guess.
It was his real
No,
doctor.
that was his real name. You were 100% correct. It's his real name.
I remember.
Lee, which it's not terribly surprising if you believe Lee, who says, all my doctors look like Ravi, but skinny little guys. Which seems pretty on brand.
We're so, not we, you.
What did I do?
And your brethren. Just inappropriate. You even got T-Mac in the.
T-Mac says, last name, Washington, Jackson, Johnson, and Williams. What are they? Those are called surnames. I think I know what you're getting at, T-Mac, but I've come up with a couple. Matt Williams, third baseman. He was flat.
Don't use Jason because that's ambiguous.
I thought they were all presidents' names.
Jason who?
Williams.
Oh, which one? Because the one is definitely white. Jackson, Michael, he's white.
No, he's not.
He is now.
He's
deceased. R.I.P. He was.
Those don't go together.
What?
You went R.I.P. and you hit the whole.
Yeah, pour one out for my guy, for the homies. Never convicted.
He's R.I.P.
Yeah, we know he's dead.
No. Oh my God, Shane. I'm so over this place.
Andrew Jackson, he was very white. The president.
Yes.
He was white and racist, so he's like super white.
I did a report on Andrew Jackson.
You big Andrew Jackson guy?
I don't know. Played a role in letting some of his people go.
Lyndon B. Johnson, also white.
Stop saying it like that.
George Washington, white.
I bet your mom is proud.
Tennessee Williams, that's a white guy.
Who's Victoria Jackson?
I don't know.
Is that the Dallas lady?
No, she's an SNL lady, alum.
I don't know who that is.
Who's the lady that used to play on Dallas?
That's gonna be.
I thought it was Victoria. No, it's Victoria somebody.
That's gonna be before my time. DJ says so. If Gary Sharp was named,
is it DJ with a lot of? Be careful now. He'll get you in trouble.
He says so. If Gary Sharp was Damon's caddy, Severe his sparring partner, Ravi is his what? Professor? I don't know. Still working on it.
You're like, I don't know,
I think I'm the devil on your shoulder.
Yeah, pretty bad. pretty bad.
Listen,
no,
I'm just
not. Patrick Duffy was the dude. No, not him.
Present day. I don't know, but Matt Williams is fairly present there. T-Mac. He was a '90s baseball
San
player.
Francisco El Gigante.
Played for the Diamondbacks for a minute too, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a Giant first.
Yeah, no, I know. I actually liked Matt Williams when I was a kid. Good ball player.
Really? What should I make of Arenado going to AZ?
I don't know what to make of that. I really
They're
don't.
like the refurbished, still kind of good. Are they gonna be good?
Yeah,
Pick guys in the market franchise.
It feels like they don't know where they're at in the process. Like they make that World Series.
They're good though.
Probably ahead of schedule, and then it's sort of I felt like sped up their timetable. Victory Principle was Dallas.
Yeah, he's got range.
I don't know who Morgan Fairchild is. What I don't Funky Giblets. I don't know what that's about.
Pink Flamingo.
No, but like I don't know what that has to do with anything we were just talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like somebody just like Morgan Fairchild.
Giblets is just giblets. Amazing Daniel. Very culturally diverse, amazing Daniel.
Very sensitive to,
Williams isn't one of those names I put on the list, even though I have no idea what we're insinuating. Of course you don't, Daniel.
I mean,
of course he does.
I have no idea.
That's fine.
None at all.
It's fine.
It's all culturally ambiguous.
To think that this whole thing started out with
Mike Ekeler and Lincoln Riley.
Correct.
How'd that happen?
Pam, yes, Victoria Principal. Thank you.
Thank
you. I knew there was a. Go ahead.
No,
say something snarky.
No, I was gonna say a sportsy thing. So you go ahead.
TK or T-Mac, don't encourage Daniel. I'm telling you, do not put the quarter in.
Funky Giblet says Morgan Fairchild was apparently also on Dallas, and Kobe doesn't know what Dallas is. It's a city in Texas, Kobe.
He said, "Kobe, why are you so like? There's no chill.
He's aggressive.
There's no chill in Kobe. It's just pedal to the metal, all gas." He said,
gas, no brakes.
WTF is Dallas. Never even heard of that before.
Well,
but Kobe, he's only in his 20th.
That sleepwalk should be over by now.
Well, you got a problem.
What's my problem?
Dallas was landman before landman, and they're getting rid of my guy.
Ian Landman?
Yeah, he's getting fired. Spoiler alert.
Who they getting rid of?
Well, there's a power struggle. He's now the president of the oil company, and he does not get along with the ladies. He is getting relieved of his job.
Oh, somebody brought up Patrick Duffy. He's in there too. He played in one of those TGIF shows I used to watch.
Patrick Duffy was the dude, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't asking about that.
Victoria Principal was in there. I don't see a Morgan Fairchild there, Funky Giblets.
She was in one. Maybe she was Dynasty.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Pink Flamingo.
I think people got those confused.
Morgan. Did you ever see? You didn't see Pink Flamingo. He said, "I'm 27. I don't know shows like that." Kobe's a menace.
He's not wrong.
Oh, now you want to defend him?
I'm just saying. I could not have told you. I knew what Dallas was.
Where were you when I was afraid to play Rod Wave, and you should have been like, "Hey, don't worry about Kobe judging you. Just do you."
Well, I mean, if you're gonna let another man decide what music you listen to,
that's on me.
That's on you.
There's some old 80s shows you shouldn't pass on. I mean, maybe Dallas you could, but I mean.
You're not talking to me. You got to talk to Kobe.
Clearly,
if it ain't Nebraska, Kobe ain't vibing.
Clearly, your opinion on my music had no impact on my decision making. So
yeah, it was pretty sucky though.
No, it was good. You just don't like good music. It's fine. You're too busy out here trying to listen to Rod Wave, and I'm like, I don't got that on the iPhone, bud.
I wasn't even listening to Rod Wave then.
No, you weren't. You were trying to listen to like Jelly Roll and Morgan Wallen. That's accurate. At the time, you were trying to listen to Jelly Roll and Morgan Wallen.
I was singing it. I wasn't like.
No, that's like the first two songs you brought up. When I gave you the phone, those were the songs you brought up.
Well, we had young ladies in the car. It's not like I could play Naughty by Nature and Tupac.
You can play whatever you want, man. You think Avery's going to be bothered by Tupac?
She had her AirPods in. She didn't talk very much.
No, but she did record us when I gave you a tutorial on how to swear. I think she's listening more than we think she is.
That hurt my feelings too. By the
Why?
way.
I was trying to help you.
No, you weren't.
I'm always trying to help you, DB. That's all I do. I'm here to help.
You sound like another one of my coworkers.
Help me.
That's her bit too.
Help me help you.
No, we're not doing that.
Is that why me and Jessica Cootie are tight? Because we're both trying to help you out?
Be careful who you hitch your wagon to.
No, she doesn't even like me because I'm mean to Shane.
She doesn't like anybody.
Except OKC, apparently.
Well, that's where she's from.
She flipped you that bird in a hurry. I can appreciate that, though, because I'm going to stand on.
She's a menace?
No, like she stands on business for where she's from.
Oh, yeah. You ain't got to worry about that.
You say something about Omaha, I'll flip that bird real quick, too.
Definitely standing on business. She don't play.
That's basically, somebody says something about Omaha or Nebraska. I basically will spend
or Millard North.
Oh, especially Millard North.
Yeah.
I'll spend the whole show flipping the bird. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll be back tomorrow on Hurrdat Sports Live. But hang on for just a second. We're going to talk to our friend Jacob Padilla, do a little Bluejay Breakdown, a little extra edition for you here right after the show. So make sure you stick around. But DB and I will be back tomorrow on Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.
Oh, Nebraska's activity is really good. Defensively, they're really solid. Sam, is just really active. I think he had 5 steals the first half. I don't know what he ended up with, but, his activity defensively, just changes the game. And, he really, really is active. But like I said, our guard play, weighs way out of his league there, just handling the ball. He's not used to playing in the States and, without Jackson to settle him down and help him a little bit. We just 16 turnovers for 23 points, and a 19-point difference there takes you out of the game. And then, like I said, I think it was 11-0 or 11-2 at half on second chance points. So, we were bad right there.
It was great. It's when all you see is the rim. That's one of the best feelings you can have. But even more importantly is we got the win, and my teammates were able to set me up for some easy shots to get me going early. And I was just able to keep that throughout the game. Also with that, my teammates still finding me in transition. Nick did a great job, and Ty did a great job pushing the ball up the court, playing with pace. So just getting some easy ones, and just all I saw was the rim. To put us up too. Yeah. No, I was just trying to make a play. I forgot who said the ball screen. Somebody said the ball screen. Pump faked, saw him jump. So just little runner, floater, kind of pull up. I'm not gonna say I work on that specifically, but I do work on my touch in the mid range a lot. So just being confident, and like I said, all I saw was the rim.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, we're pretty much sold out the rest of the year. I think there might be a few tickets left for one or two of the games, but our guys deserve it, and we appreciate the support more than I think anybody realizes. You hear it early in the introductions, the Husker Power chant, and it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference for us. If we're going through a lull, we need them to help pick us up at times. And, my message was the same to our guys. Are you satisfied? Not one person in there said they are. So now we go back in the road, and we're all we got. And then, get another opportunity to be back in here next Wednesday. But, it's been incredible. Our fans, have been a huge factor in the start that we've had so far this year.
We've had some guys really emerge on both sides of the ball, which is really what we needed to see, what we wanted to see with this group. I think last year was pretty pitching heavy just in terms of some of the veteran presence, who kind of had the voices in the locker room and some of those things. And this year, just we have the luxury of having a guy like Josh Overbeek and Red Stokes, both guys that have been here for 2 years, won 2 championships. They're fifth-year players. They're sold out to what we're doing as a program. They've been outstanding leaders, and you got a guy, a fourth-year starter, and Carey back at shortstop. That's pretty comforting, as a coach as well. So those guys have really done a good job, and you have to have buy-in first from those guys, and then the rest of the guys will fall in line. But from the pitching side, Timmerman, Clark, those guys have really kind of stepped up.
Proud of our group today. One of the few games I've ever coached that played out this crazy. Hair, I need a full explanation of, is it the clock? Is it there's 4 different views that I just saw. If it's good on the floor and it's inconclusive, what does that mean? I'm not saying that's why we lost the game, but I do need an explanation from my league office on it for sure, because I don't know what the rule is. Good game. I'm really proud of our men. Thought we played hard, obviously fighting for our lives, losing 4 in a row. We knew we were going to come in here and play a team that was so determined, coming off the way Creighton played against St. John's. We did everything we could to lose the game. Battled. I'm really proud of our group. I thought we played hard, thought we played connected, thought we played together. I thought Schwartz played the game of his life, right? Really good shooter. That's life in our league is unfortunate. Very disappointed in the loss, but very proud of our men.
We started to be more physical defensively, I think, and then we were really getting buckets in transition. We were getting the ball up the court quick, and thought our offensive flow really started to get into a groove. Yeah, absolutely. At halftime, I think they had 0 offensive rebounds. Is that right? Yeah. So great job in the first half with coming out, executing the game plan, and getting in there and playing off too was an emphasis at half. I had a couple drives in there where I just fumbled the ball, but we got into that in the second half. So yeah, we all know Sam. He's going to bring that every game. So he's just a pest out there, and he really gets us going. And those steals for him, it wasn't just Jay Marley. It was Sam too. Getting those steals, pushing it up. He was finding me when I was getting going. So he was huge tonight.
Welcome back. Little special edition here of Bluejay Breakdown. I'm Ravi Lulla. We've got Jacob Padilla here with me as well. Jacob, how are we doing today?
Doing all right. A little chilly outside, but I mean, we are this time of the year.
It is January.
Yes, we've been spoiled with the temperatures for the most part. So hopefully we don't get much precipitation tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm hoping not. We have not been particularly spoiled with the basketball we've seen as of late with the Creighton Blue Jays. Coming off a win.
Yeah, I will say it wasn't great basketball. You don't want to be in that situation, but it was a phenomenal game, just in terms of watching and the excitement factor. You just don't want to be in one of that with Georgetown.
Entertainment value, 100%. Great basketball game to watch. In terms of basketball value for a team that you want to be trying to figure some things out, not ideal, especially against a Georgetown team that frankly is not good.
Yeah.
That's a bad Georgetown team.
It is a very bad Georgetown team. I will say it's a tough matchup. They got 2 7-footers that can both actually play.
Yeah.
And
not great for Creighton.
Yeah, especially with Jason Green as limited as he is.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty clear. And Greg McDermott talked about after the game just how much it's bothering him. And you could just watch the 3-point shots he took.
Oh, yeah. He's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like Matt even said he can barely lift the arm above his shoulder because of the injury. So, that's the problem when you're 6'8",
already
trying to rebound against 7-footers, and you can't reach.
You can't lift up one of your arms.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to rebound. And obviously he got in foul trouble early in that game, which seemingly the first time that's happened since he's taken over at the 5. And I mean, we'll talk about more about what that means and the guys that came in for him. But, just in general, it was. Georgetown is a team that cannot make shots from the field. They're one of the worst teams in the country from the field. They've been a little better in conference play. It's still bottom half.
Yeah.
But,
they
made a lot of shots.
57% against Creighton.
They scored on 16 straight possessions in the second half from about the 9-minute and change mark to 5-minute and change. Creighton did not get a single stop.
Oh, gee. That's hard to win a game that way.
And yet Creighton was still only down 4 by the end of it. Because the Jays found a way to score enough to keep it from getting out of hand. And then
Creighton shot 52%, so there wasn't a lot of
threes to 7 or whatever it was.
Yeah, so there wasn't a lot of defense going around. So that certainly kind of helped out in terms of being able to come back there. But I do want to talk about Jason Green for a second. Do you expect this? He's just going to have to manage this throughout the rest of the season, right? You don't expect it to get that much better.
It kind of seems like it. I don't have the diagnosis or anything, but
just the way
Cameron said, it's just compromised at this point.
Yeah,
you hit it right. It didn't seem like he got it hit. Maybe something happened in practice, or whatever. But hopefully that's the case, and not that it's just that bad.
Getting worse,
point. Yeah.
You had a couple games ago where he goes down early, misses a big chunk because it seems like, and I don't know the diagnosis. It seems like he probably separated at some point and it keeps slipping in and out. That's what that brace typically means.
And even the referee apparently told the TV broadcast there during that game that it pulled out or separated or something like that, which is odd. I've never seen an official give
a medical
diagnosis to the broadcast crew before.
Oh, yeah, he popped that thing out.
Is he trying to draw a sideline reporter check for that game as well or something? But so that's unfortunate because
that's going to be one of those things. He probably just has to have surgery when the season's over,
and he's been the guy tying this team together all season long.
100%.
He started at 3 different positions.
Mm-hmm.
He's settled in now at the 5 because of their struggles at that position, and has done a heck of a job for being generously listed at 6'8". In the Big East, and found a way to make it work, and he's done really well. It's just you need him at full strength for that to work.
Yeah, for him to have a shot.
Clearly not right now.
Going kind of through the rest of the roster here, let's stay at the center spot. Obviously, you saw extended minutes from Conan for the first time. He had almost 18 minutes. Played pretty well, I thought. That was probably his best stretch of the season.
Oh, and the cool thing was his mom is actually here.
Oh, that's
she was
great.
At the game, and she came into the press conference because he came in afterward.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to hear a little bit from him, and she was sitting in the back watching. So that was kind of a
very
cool
cool.
moment. The fact, and Greg McDermott said she picked a good one, and absolutely true. Like you said, it's career high, 18 minutes. And he scored 6 points, finished finished well, which has been an issue for him in the limited opportunities he's had before. Any kind of contact, he hasn't been able to finish for the most part.
They were plus 11 in his minutes.
He caught it on the move, put his shoulder into 7'1", 257-pound. I think it was Iwuchukwu that he bodied out of the way.
I think so, yeah.
And then actually finished it, which that's probably the most impressive individual move that he's made all season long.
He also finished kind of an awkward, almost alley-oop, where he had to
the layup.
he had to be fairly athletic with good touch on that. So, I mean, I do think there's pretty high upside with Conan there.
What McDermott talked about is just there's still a communication gap, and it's hard.
Sure.
Like they're never quite sure what he understands and what he doesn't, like when they're in the live play and they're trying to shout instructions and guys are trying to call out coverages and all this type of stuff. Never quite know how well he understands what they're trying to do. And so that's a significant barrier that they're working through.
Yeah.
And part of why his minutes have been limited. And so that's something they're just, again, going to have to continue to work through.
Yeah,
but McDermott said he liked what he saw from him at the end of the St. John's game, and enough to when Jason picked up that second foul, Conan was the first one off the bench to go spell him.
Yeah, and that kind of brings up the obvious glaring elephant in the room of Owen Freeman, where he was one of the most high-profile guys brought in over the offseason, even in a game in which Jason Green was in foul trouble, as he's been banged up, only got 6 minutes. I know we had the knee thing with the meniscus in the offseason. He hadn't played for a long time, hasn't played with a lot of these guys. What, in your mind, does the rest of the season look like for Owen Freeman? And maybe even if you're thinking about moving forward, like he's got eligibility left. Yeah. Like, what does this look like? What does the Owen Freeman experiment at Creighton look like moving forward?
Honestly, I have no idea the fact that it's taken. And he only played 6 minutes in that game. He was good in those 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Like I had watched it back because at this point, like fans have just kind of latched on to him as
it's a narrative of
he played well. He played hard in his minutes out there and contributed.
Which has seemed like one of the complaints is it doesn't always seem like he's going hard.
Exactly. And I went back and watched no, he played as hard as anybody out there, and he had several. The plays he made were all hustle plays, so like the -10 that he was in the box, so that wasn't on him. Like Georgetown hit threes and Creighton didn't. Like he
in those stretches.
He got one-on-one. He was out there for the 8 of the 10 run or the 10 run or whatever it was in the first half, and that's where that came from. But he still made some plays during that stretch. Creighton just didn't score. So I don't know. Again, it just still seems like he's disconnected. Like he's not. You see him out there again. They're still not feeding the post. He's kind of jogging around trying to figure out. All right, where am I supposed to set the screen, and then where am I supposed to go after I set the screen? And guys aren't looking into him that often. And so I don't know. Like I think you're at the point where I think you still keep trying him every game. You roll him out there at some point, whether it's first off the bench, whether it's second, depending on how Conan does, especially again with Jason and in his state. I don't know how many minutes he's going to be able to play and give you productive minutes. But I think you keep trying with Freeman. You keep working with him in practice, keep hoping that at some point something will click and he'll give you 8 points in an 8-minute stretch in a game. Go out there and grab 8 rebounds in 10 minutes or something like that. Like I think we've seen at different times where he's been effective.
Yeah.
So I think you have to just keep trying and hope that at some point it comes together. But in terms of long term, like I don't like he's got it. And the Creighton fans are a lot like he's MVC caliber player at best or whatever. The dude averaged almost 17 a game in the Big Ten.
I'll say he was good in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So that's not it.
Yeah. There's still proven ability there. He just
at a power conference level.
He has not been able to access that coming off the injury, coming into a new system with new teammates. So I don't know what you do with that. You just have to, I think, get through the rest of the season and see if it starts to go in the right direction and then go from there.
So obviously part of this is having zero familiarity with his teammates and having an injury that doesn't allow you to get familiarity with the teammates. How much in your mind of it is just, hey, this is a team that does not play through the post at all, and that is by far his most valuable skill set.
100%. That's a huge part of it. And
it seems like they're, even if they wanted to, it doesn't even seem like they're totally capable. Like, it doesn't seem like they are capable of consistently making entry passes, even if they wanted to.
And it hasn't gone great. Like, in a lot of time when he has gotten post touches at different points, like he's gotten swarmed and it's been some turnovers. So I don't know if that's discouraging attempts or whatever from teammates, but it just doesn't seem like they're in. Partially understandable, maybe because they spent the entire summer without playing without a center outside of Jason, who is the most experienced guy in the system and kind of the connector piece,
and not going to post up a ton.
With everybody, so what Jason does is he's really smart about his post ups, and a lot of them are duck ins or off the dribble.
I'll say he dribbles into his post ups a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's not standing
posting
in
and
there.
waiting for
exactly, and that's what you see with Conan and Freeman a lot, just because like that's what's natural to them, and the rest of the team just doesn't really look interested in that. So it is, even without the injury, it is kind of odd, like
stylistic mismatch.
Like, so why was Freeman the guy that you guys targeted to play this spot if this is kind of how you were going to play? So I don't. And we saw it defensively in that Georgetown game. It wasn't a lot of it. They just weren't connected again. Like, we've seen progress in that regard, but like their ball screen, their pick and roll coverage, the tags were late. They didn't rotate off when they did tag. Sometimes guys tagged and it didn't matter because they're just smaller than the 7-footer that short roll and finished over the top, whatever. It's I don't know. It just, they're not at the point now where it seems like they're fully on a string. They've made progress in that regard. That you don't make the run that they've been on without that. But Georgetown was a kind of a reminder that, it's not all fixed. It's a game-to-game thing where they have to be locked in every possession in order to get the most out of this team.
And without one of your best defenders for extended stretches in Jason Green, that's going to be tough.
Yes.
Let's go to more positive here. Austin Swartz. Had a huge game, obviously, against Georgetown, 33 points, career high. He has, since the Nicholls State game, so 9 of his last 11 games.
Now they dropped the State.
Oh, my bad. Just the Nicholls. Since Nicholls. 9 of his last 11 games, he's in double figures. 4 of those are over 20 points. Obviously, the career high against Georgetown. I know we all knew there was this probably level of talent in there. I don't know if any of us expected to see 27, 22, 20, 33 this year in terms of his production.
And not only the 33 overall, but the shots that he hit to get there. Obviously, the 3 for the tie, like that, great read, great play off of that situation. We realized, they blew this switch. I've got just enough space to step back and get it off, knowing we need a 3 at this point. Or we could use a 3 at this point, because that obviously that was the deficit there. And then the
degree of difficulty,
the go ahead shot in overtime, the up and
the pivot,
under, the pump fake jump, the step through, and a little floater jumper thing like that. Like, you see that move, he did that from like outside the elbow.
Yeah, that was like a 16-footer.
Yeah, and just had the confidence, like, I got him off his feet, I can get the shot off, and just buried it.
Stayed on balance, like, really impressive.
This is the confidence level that we could see in him in the preseason, just like within practices. Like, this is a confident dude, and the results just weren't there early in the season. But now that he's starting to stack these successes on, you can see that it's coming out of him. Like, oh yeah, I'm the guy. I know I can be that guy for this team.
And the efficiency level has been really good. Obviously, in the third 3-point game, he was 12 for 16, 8 for 12 from 3-point range, but he's shooting 48% from the field on, as you mentioned, pretty reasonably high degree of difficulty shot. He's not getting a lot of gimmies. And then 42% from 3-point range on what's become pretty good volume. I mean, obviously the 12 against Georgetown, but he had 10 attempts against Butler, 8 attempts against Villanova, 7 attempts against Villanova, 9 attempts against Seton Hall. Like, he's taking a lot of threes and still shooting it at a really high clip.
Yeah, and a few weeks back, I broke down, coming out of the break, just kind of the shot variety on the website that he was getting, and showing like, hey, this isn't just a spot up and shoot guy. Like, he's got a lot of shot versatility to him with his ability to pump fake, one dribble reset, pull up off the dribble, get to that mid-range. Seeing a little bit more of him, like he had a tough finish at the rim, like full extension finger roll finish in this one to go with the jump shots. He's still primarily a jump shooter, but we're seeing a little bit more of him getting to the rim and scoring around the basket.
He's a pretty good athlete.
Yeah, he's got a strong frame.
Yeah,
like he's not the quickest in the world, but like he's starting to read things better and kind of figure out where those openings are to get to the rim. So we're just starting to see him really continue to evolve offensively and as a scorer. And now the next step for him is everything else. And we saw even in this game, he kind of
some of the defensive lapses, box out lapses.
Yeah, McDermott was going offense, defense down the stretch. And credit to Fedor Zugic, who got in and forced a huge turnover there in overtime.
Which was definitely a charge, by the way.
Yeah,
like the guy's full arm is extended, and I don't know what the announcers.
Lost the ball.
I don't know what the announcers were talking about. They're like, "Yeah, it's off." It's like, no, he full on arm extension there.
Yeah, and that's why he couldn't get the ball up because he pushed it off and then tried to pull it back to gather it, and just the ball flew out of his hand. But so he drew the push off though because he moved his feet well enough to stay in front of him.
Fedor's a pretty good defender. Like he's really not bad.
It's like so he's an interest. Like they don't have a ton of great defenders on the team, and he has his lapses, and there's times he's not great. But Mac at this point looks at him like our best defender off the bench on the perimeter.
Yeah,
when Dick sits, Zugic is the guy that takes on that defensive assignment. And again, you went offense, defense at that point. So
he's better on ball. Sometimes he gets a little lost off the ball. On the ball, he's pretty good though.
Yeah. So if he's locked in, like he can contribute in that area, and that's what he's doing now. So obviously the offense still hasn't quite. You see the flashes, but isn't quite there. But that's why he's still getting minutes because you need somebody that can go out there and guard the ball.
Speaking of Josh Dix, leading the team in scoring, his shot seems to be coming around. He struggled with it early in the season. How much can be expected from him offensively when he is really the only plus defender outside of Jason Green on this team?
And I think we're still, like, you look at that 2 for 7 from 3 against Georgetown. How many of those were
late shot clock
on the shot clock where you just
desperation
had to get something up?
Yeah.
And that's honestly far too high of a percentage of his 3-point attempts this season for Creighton. And I think that is reflected in the percentages. And that's something that this team has to figure out. When they kind of went in the drought against Georgetown, it was, again, possession after possession. They're not generating anything, getting late in the shot clock, and then they have to just force something up. Like, that's been a trend throughout the season. Like, Creighton's, what are they? They're 257th now in average possession length. The average 18 seconds. Again, this is supposed to be a team that always wants to play up tempo, play fast, and they're 261st in tempo. So they're getting bogged down far too often.
Yeah.
And when that happens, a lot gets put on Dix's plate. And that's just not a recipe for success, especially, again, considering everything that they're asking him to do defensively and some rebounding or some ball handling. So, it's something they've got to figure out. They got to find a way to execute better, generate earlier offense, because this just isn't sustainable where you're getting down to 2 on the shot clock. Even against Nichols, we saw what they have like 4 between Dix and Swartz in the first half. They had 4 shots within the last 3 seconds of the shot clock that those guys hit.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be needing bailout shots against Nichols. So that's moving forward. That's something that they have to address and find a way to fix, because it's happening far too often right now.
All right, so coming up on the schedule, they've got Providence tomorrow. We're recording this on Thursday. They play Providence on Friday. Then Xavier and Marquette over the next 10 days, basically, before the big game with UConn coming to town.
And fortunately, they do get the 4-day break once they get through this Providence, because they've played a lot of games in the last week to 2 weeks. And McDermott talked about kind of how that is.
And they'll be at home for Xavier, so they don't even have to travel during the extra break there, which is good.
Exactly. So once they get through this Providence game, they'll have a chance to kind of rest, reset, maybe do some self-scouting, try to figure some things out, have some competition practice. Maybe they can start to ramp up Hudson Greer a little bit more.
From Providence to Marquette, they only play 1 game in 10 days.
Yeah.
Which is a big positive for them, because they don't have Marquette till the 27th.
Yeah. So that's huge. So we'll see. Providence is going to be a test. We saw St. John's lost there, and
Mhm.
we saw how good St. John's looked against Creighton.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, and so I mean, right now KenPom predicts a 1-point loss for Creighton. So
Yeah, that's a pure
toss-up. Yeah.
that's a pure coin flip game. He's got it at 48%. So that is, I mean, I consider anything from 40 to 60 basically a coin flip in his percentages. So obviously you're right down the middle there with Providence.
It's a good offensive team. So
yeah,
Creighton's going to have to execute at a higher level defensively than they did against Georgetown. And again, part of that was Georgetown just have an outlier shooting game like across the board, but also part of that was Creighton's execution, and it's going to have to be much better against a much better offensive team and Providence in their gym.
Hopefully that stretch gives Jason Green a little bit of time to get healthy as well. I do think getting Hudson Greer up to speed would be a huge addition for this team, though.
Yeah, and the question is kind of where do those minutes come from? And we've already seen Blake Harper kind of step up, and he's starting to take on a bigger role again. And so almost exclusively at the 4 at this point. Again, with Isaac Trout struggling with this shot recently, they kind of shifted to more of Harper playing those minutes at the 4 and playing a little bit smaller. And Greer's a guy that's played 3-4. So Zugic, Harper, Trout, those are probably where those minutes are going to come from, because you're not taking minutes down from Dix. You're not taking minutes down from Sports at this point. And we know at this point they don't want to play Dix at the point.
Yeah.
So you're just splitting the point minutes between Davis and Graves. So it's going to come down to kind of how he performs compared to those guys in order to get him back into that mix. And you could see the first game back, he was not ready at Seton Hall. Got out there and then didn't play against Villanova. Was just garbage time essentially against St. John's, and then didn't play against Georgetown. So doesn't seem like he's quite there yet, but again, like you said, hopefully over this next stretch they can ramp him up and see if he can kind of crack their rotation, give them a little something different, see where you can find the minutes for him.
Anything else on the men's team before we switch over to the women's?
Nope, I think that's it. It's just kind of it's this team is going to be game to game at this point. Like I don't think there's they fixed it, they found it out. Like it's going to be they have to put in the work every single game in order. That's just where they're at from a talent and cohesiveness standpoint. And the Big East isn't great, but there's not a lot of not a lot of gimmies. Even a team like Georgetown, who's in the hundreds in KenPom, you look at their losses, and they've all been competitive for the most part. They only lost by 12 to St. John's. There's a 3-point loss, a 6-point loss in there. Like they're not getting blown out, and that's one of the worst teams in the league. And we saw with those 7-footers, like they got some talent. Like Langston Love was a former 5-star recruit. Obviously had injuries. Malik Max, an accomplished player.
Yeah,
like they've got some dudes. They just haven't played well as a team enough to get wins.
Yeah,
but there's enough talent there to push you, and they're not alone in that aspect. So Creighton's gonna have to find a way to really lock in every single game and get the most out of the roster.
All right, switching over to the women's side, they're kind of going through it as well. They lost their last 2 games to Marquette, and then obviously, UConn comes to town, and that's going to be what it is. As we kind of go through this, they're sitting at 7-10. How are you processing where the women's team's at right now?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a whole lot has changed, like from the conversations that we've had recently. There was some encouraging things from that game, but I mean, you look at what UConn was like 7,000 was attendance for the Pink out there at CHI, and obviously there are a lot of UConn fans, but
pretty heavy UConn,
yeah, still good crowd, and like you look at what UConn is doing, they're winning by an average of 47 points a game. And Creighton cut it to 40 at the end. I was texting with Matt.
Got down to 41.
He said, "Yeah, if they keep it, they lose by 40ish, then they'll have played well." And they did. I think they went back and retroactively changed an Ava Zedeker 3-pointer, so it was 40 at the final buzzer, changed to 41 was the official final score. But I think the takeaway there is Zedeker and her performance in that game against that team to finish with 23 points, 2 assists, 0 turnovers against a team that's pressing you, pressuring you all over the court. 9 of 17 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. So it's just another one of those, like, okay, these are the performances you're looking for from these young players. Like, how good can these kids be?
Yeah.
And especially with the time that she's missed coming back in there. That was huge for her in that moment. I'm sure for her confidence, for just going back over the tape, like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
Like if you can do this against UConn, you can do this against anybody else in the conference.
In the country, really. I mean, let's be honest. Like,
yes. They're running through everything. This is a vintage UConn team right now.
Especially when
on,
there's not like a lot of other, didn't mean to cut you off there, but like, especially when there's no one else on the team was playing particularly well.
Yeah.
So like you kind of become the focus of a very good, like it's, some people can kind of get going against UConn because there's like, oh, I've got this team that's playing really well. Like it was kind of all Ava Zedeker here, and she still was able to get 23 on that. So like that feels like an important distinction too.
And early on in the game, like they were doing everything they needed to have a chance to compete against UConn.
Mm-hmm.
It was 21-14 at the end of the first, but they were within a bucket or two for a long stretch of that first period.
Yeah.
And they were taking care of the ball. They were hard cutting against the extended pressure. They're getting some easy buckets that way. And then eventually they kind of wore down and the pressure started forcing turnovers. And that's when UConn started getting out and opening it up. But there was some moments of that game like, okay, this is what it needs to look like. You guys show that you're capable of it. Now we just have to figure out a way that we can sustain that for longer stretches. But all things considered, in a 41-point loss, I think I'd say Flan probably came out of it feeling okay,
as good as you can.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, outside, and this is a big, but outside of the second quarter, they really didn't play that poorly.
Yeah.
The second quarter obviously is 33-7.
Yeah.
That gets away from you in a bad way. You mentioned the turnovers and leading to quick buckets for UConn. But outside of that, it's 21-14, 20-14, 21-19. Like, clearly UConn was the better team. But if you're able to keep the second quarter in the same neighborhood as the first, third, and fourth, we're talking about a 20-point win, not a 40-point win. And that, to me, I think is probably more indicative of how most of this game looked. UConn clearly better, but outside of the second quarter, really didn't get away from them that badly.
Yep. And good news is since they basically had the whole week off. They go to Providence on Saturday, but the 5 days there to, again, rest, recharge, go over the tape, figure out what we need to do moving forward. Because, again, coming off UConn, you don't want a short turnaround because that's a team that'll beat you twice.
Yes.
So they've got the buffer in here to kind of reset, and now we'll go see what they can do against Providence, Xavier, DePaul, or the next three coming up.
Yeah, that's on the women's side. Jacob, did we miss anything?
I don't think so. Oh, they did get a commit from a 2027 legacy, Lily McCracken.
I saw that. Yeah.
I saw Matt DeMarinis kind of noticed that. Seems really good player out of Arizona. So keeping the
Arizona
momentum going.
Player of the year, I believe.
Yeah, number one
for the state
player in the state. So this is a very young team now, but they're building to the future, and they're continuing to stack that pipeline with talented players, especially talented guards. So just got to kind of persevere, power through here because they're setting themselves up for a pretty bright future once again.
There you go. That's Jacob Padilla. I'm Ravi Lulla. That's been Bluejay Breakdown. Make sure you check us out every Thursday after the morning show. Jacob, appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good.